Good evening, one and all. It's Friday, it's the end of the working week, and that of course means we're on to our variety. And today, well, as voted again over on the supporter tea lounge, we have got ourselves some more. Oh, no, you're not supposed to see that just yet. Ah, we got some more D&D. There we are. Spoilers. Yes, that was intentional. But anyway, hello there, Coracop with the immediate hydrate. I mean, what else do we expect these days? There we are. Oh. Cheers indeed on that. Hello there, Raynuva. Hello, Zom. Hello, Ladybug. How are we all doing today? Bungie time? Not quite yet, Zom. We have got to finish off Ash first. So yeah, we are in the midst of making up the Warframes as D&D monsters. We've got the full Excalibur set. We've got the full mag set. We've got the full Vault set. No graphics as yet. Going to add those on later. And Ash is all the way up to the Ash Master. And I've got a nice lovely gap here put an Ash picture into as and when I do that. The picturey bits, because of the whole process, I'll usually keep that to off stream. But yeah, we can get on with actually making the final stage of Ash. I just scroll all the way down on this other side here, which is where everything gets made. There we are. Set ourselves a new page. It's time for the Ash Prime, even not Ash Master. Ash Prime. Words are hard. Jeez. Okay. Hope everyone's doing well today as well. We are around the world. Coracop finally got Red Prime built today, with Sarah and Valkyrie a day away. Nice. Yeah, those are some good frames to have. Those are definitely some good frames to have right there. Alright, so first of all, I'm just copying over the details from the Ash Master, which means then that I can go straight on to making the Prime, and have most of the information already there for me to go, at least a lot of the formatting. I can just kind of build on that. We're moving up into Ash Prime territory. Once again, I have forgotten to open up my little cheat sheet of information on these. Let me just grab that real quickly. So I feel like an absolute numpty for once again forgetting to open it ahead of opening the stream. I do everything else. Every other stream, I have everything up and running. For some reason, the cheat sheet always eludes me. Here we are. Now, I have reviewed this from last time. If you remember, if you were here last time, I have reviewed this as the Ash Master details. Just the amount of damage didn't seem to quite add up correctly, and I found out there was a fundamental flaw in my understanding of the document I've been using as a cheat sheet, because using it as it reads isn't quite accurate. The example they've given on how to build up the damage for the different challenge ratings, well, it only makes sense with the whole limited use attacks do 4 times damage, or limited use multi-attacks do 2 times damage. That only makes sense if the creature you're building for has one main at-will attack, and then all of the other attacks you would include are either lower value, and therefore don't count, or is a single-use attack. But every other form of the mathematics on it, it doesn't actually work out. Because, say, if you've got 3 single-use attacks, use 1 turn 1, 1 turn 2, 1 turn 3, well, they're actually going to add up to a lot more damage than they should do. So a limited single-use one doing 4 times the damage, 3 turns over, you're actually doing 4 times the damage you're supposed to do across 3 turns. Like, massively more. So it doesn't really add up. It just doesn't really add up that way. So, oh, I've accidentally just highlighted that. There we are. So yeah, looking into it further, what I'm going to be going forwards on the balancing of everything here is using the damage column, multiply that by 3, just to get us a starting point for damage over 3 turns, and that's the budget I'm going to try and aim towards over the course of 3 turns when I'm using that balancing. And so as a result of that, the Ash Master here, I have to be very careful how I pronounce that, but Ash Master, we've got the Fatal Teleport. So originally at the end of last stream, I think I had it as something like 2 lots of 80 damage to a single target. That has gone down to just 80 damage to a single target. And so if we bring up the bits and pieces here, it's aiming for around challenge rating 15. I've gone for the damage can be slightly higher because of what we're working with here. In terms of the idea of Ash being low defense, high offense. Happy Edition Day. Rainover, we look at it slightly differently in this country. We look at today's date rather differently in this country. But cheers all the same. And hello, Cosmo. Yeah, so adding this all here, we've got Fatal Teleport for 80 damage, which we're going to use very early on. We've got then no bonus actions, so they can't just do that. But they have got legendary actions. Dagger is going to throw in another dagger attack, which is 15 damage. So that comes to 95 on the first turn. Follow-up turn, We've got Shuriken here. We'll hit 2 targets for 34 total. Okay. We've got normal attack action. Multi-attack, make 3 attacks with daggers. We'll add on another 45. So 34, 74, 79 damage. And then on turn 3, they would either again go for the bonus action. I think they can cast that twice. Yeah, they can cast that twice. Or they might use a different bonus action, so they have slightly lower damage, but the options are available to them there. Alright, fair enough, Rainuva. Fair enough. When you say stream is muted, you have the stream muted. I'm not muted. Yeah, I'm not muted. Someone else would have told me by now. So, yes. I've scaled back the damage on Ashe quite significantly there to actually fit into the damage design for the level. But it still works out in the end. We've got the legendary actions, we got the basic actions. I know that Fatal Teleport is actually lower. It's almost the same damage as having Shuriken plus multi-attack, because they come to 79, this comes to 80. However, this has a massive 2-hit bonus of plus 15, so it's still more fatal. If I'm muted, then it means you're very good at imagining things. Fair enough, Ladybug, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not muted today. Definitely not muted. So, with all the little bits aside, and yet my screens are all in the right place as well, let's get cracking on with making the other one. And Reeled, yo!
Good evening, everybody, smile.
Good evening indeed. Reeled, 14 months! My dude, that is epic right there. Thank you very, very much. Big sip for you, my dude. Big sip indeed. I really do appreciate it. Just on that note, for anyone who is curious, I wasn't even aware of this until like moments ago, moments before starting stream. It turns out that Xbox had some kind of promotion going on, which ends today, which was also very surprising for me. Ends at 3 PM Pacific time, I think that is. What is 3 PM Pacific time when you are, you know, in the UK? 11 PM, after the end of this stream. That's good. So apparently until just after the end of today's stream, the first 2 subscriptions you give or purchase on Twitch actually give you Xbox Game Pass for 3 months, which is a thing, or at least you can claim it. So, yeah. If anyone has been wondering, ooh, do I want to sub, do I want to give, do I want to do anything like that, there you are. Oh, and Stream Elements has just popped up with the same information as well, there you are. And there's a whole blog from Twitch all about it. I don't know how I didn't know about this earlier, but there you go. Now I do know about it. It's a thing. And now you guys know about it. So, Reeled, it's entirely your choice on that one, but if you wanted to, it's there and waiting for you. Right, Ashe Prime, let's make this happen. Now, Ashe Prime, I'm going to jump up the challenge rating by another 5 points. I'm going to take this all the way up to challenge rating 20 is my aim here. All the way up to 20. Pat Poker, thanks for the follow, mate. As I'm saying, actually, how I'm playing HK. Oh, Hollow Knight right now. Fair do, fair do. Alright, challenge rating 20. Now, that means the proficiency bonus is going to have gone up. Where does it go up? I should write this down when proficiency bonuses go up. Did I write it down somewhere? I might have. I might have been smart enough to write it down somewhere. Let me see. D&D Warframes, Elf Information. I did not. I did not. Okay, cool. So, your proficiency bonus goes up at 5, 9, 13, 17. So it should be plus 6? Or would it go up again by 20? 5e proficiency bonus. No, it is definitely plus 6. Okay, cool. It is definitely plus 6. So, that's where we're aiming at there. Across the board, the stats. I want the stats to go up by a total of plus 6. I could just do plus 1 to everything for that, really. Except I can't because the dexterity is already at plus 6. I don't want to be bolstering that any further. So I'll do plus 1 to everything except for dex. And instead we'll give intelligence the double dip bonus, I think. We'll give intelligence the double dip. So, strength 16 for a plus 3. Dex no change. Constitution 16 for again a plus 3. We've got intelligence, we're going up twice, so 22 for a plus 6. Wiz 18 for a plus 4. And charisma, we're going to take it to 11. But that doesn't mean any change, it's still a plus 0. But it puts it slightly above a 10. So it's kind of in there. Kind of getting there. Saving throws. This is definitely time to add on a deck save. As cheesy as it may be, you can definitely have a plus 12 in dex now. The Wiz will have raised up to a total of a plus 10. And the Charisma to a total of plus 6. So far, so good. Skills. We got Perception, Religion, Stealth, and Sleight of Hand for Ash here. What will we give Ash at this stage, skill-wise? I'm going to give him Acrobatics. That feels like the kind of thing he should be doing. Acrobatics, which should be off his Dexterity, so that's a plus 12. The Perception, keying off Wisdom, so that's a plus 10. Religion, keying off Intelligence, is a plus 12. Yeah, why did that say plus 9? Was it supposed to be plus 9 before? Intelligence stat, 4 and 5. Yeah, no, 9. Yeah, that's actually correct. Yeah, I'm getting myself mixed up. Stealth is now a plus 12, and Sleight of Hand a plus 12. There we go. Loads of lovely plus 12s and whatnots. Passive Perception, 20. Yeah, try hiding against this guy. Try hiding from an Ash Prime. Passive Perception, 20. That's a strong one right there. From the stat basis here, charge rate is 20, aim slightly lower. I'm actually going to keep the AC at 17. I'm not going to buff that up. I'm going to leave his AC at 17, just like it was at the previous tier in the Ash Master there. And instead I'm going to focus on just buffing up the hit points. So I'm going to aim for around about, and I'm going to keep it 2 tiers down, so 270 is roughly where I want the hit points to end up. We'll figure out how that figures out in a bit. Speed 35. No, give him a little bit more. Give him a little bit more. Not a lot, just an extra square of movement, because again, going for that kind of rogue feel, rogue with the dashes, but not a rogue, it's on the way there. Once per turn, Ash may turn a jump into a bullet jump. Now, all with the primes, I'm making that a triple distance, which means that the vertical here is a total of 21 foot vertical, or the horizontal of 48. Which is, kind of slightly bonkers, but that's what it's supposed to be. Max might say thank you for streaming, couldn't figure out what to do. Now you know what to do. Yep, you're here, watching and enjoying, absolutely. Alright then, now with the this is where we get into the actual pithy mechanics of it. With the spells and whatnot, all the DC is going to need to change up, so let's figure out that straight away. So spell save DC is 8 plus proficiency plus intelligence. Intelligence proficiency is now 12, so that's a total of DC 20. Good luck. And spell attack bonus has increased to plus 12, so again, good luck. So that is pretty powerful. That is pretty powerful. Let's update all of these with that as well. So the Shuriken plus 12 to hit. Target takes damage. We don't need to make any changes there as for now. Likewise, Dexterity saving throw is a DC 20 on Smokescreen. Fatal Teleport, the plus to hit. I said that was Dexterity and Intelligence. So, that's now plus 18 to hit. We've got Dex, Intelligence, and the Proficiency. So it's supposed to be really high chance of hitting. And then the damage stats are the damage stats, they're just damage stats. That is all good so far. And this means now we're going to have the 9th level spell which we're introducing, which is of course going to be his ultimate. What's the name of that one again? I've lost the name of it. Alright, we'll just Google it. I don't need to remember everything, Google exists. Wikis exist. Abilities. Blade Storm, right. Blade Storm. Oops. And in the italic still, 9th level. That's not supposed to be capitalized. Level. There we go. So, it's only going to be once per short rest, so still not going to get a lot of uses out of this. I put bracket level, 9th level. There we go. And now I need to actually spell out what that one does. Blade Storm. So this is going to be a spell. This is going to be a 1 action to initialize it. Because I'm going to have it free to then... I don't need to do a free to snap it. I can... Yeah, no. We can just make it 1 action. It's just enemies he can see. We don't need to do anything special there. Just enemies he can see will be a target on this one. So, Blade Storm. How Ash uses it in Warframe. He looks at a bunch of enemies with the spell active. The spell runs through. The ability runs through at a moment of his choosing. We can just say everyone he can see within range. And they all get sequentially targeted by Shadow Assassins of Ash, which are pretty devastating. Now, I don't want to include Fatal Teleport with Blade Storm. I know there is a synergy in game for that. That's more cinematic than anything else. So I don't want to include that. At the end of the day, Ash goes through the cinematic and then ends up back where he was in the first place. So it is pure cinematic. Doesn't really do anything here. And it would just kind of trip up the DM trying to run the ability. Instead, Blade Storm, we just need to focus on the actual approach to it hitting. And the main thing there is just figuring out an amount of damage to deal. Now, Ash in-game just hits. If he looks at you and then activates Blade Storm, it hits. There is nothing you can do. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200 kind of deal. Strikes you in the back and does a hell of a lot of true damage. Figuring it in is how to actually introduce this here to still be fair. And to help with that, I'm going to focus on where we're already at in terms of damage. Let's update the dagger attacks as well. Let's update all of these. So the dagger attack is no longer plus 11 to hit. It is... Was it plus 11 before? Yeah. So it's plus 12 to hit now. The hit has gone up from 15 damage to... Actually, it won't have gone up. No, it will still be the same 15 damage there. So the same dagger mastery. So let's see what we got to work with in terms of a damage budget. We're aiming for a bit above 20, so going for about 110 DPR. That's damage per round. Average out over 3 rounds, which is just the way you handle it. It's going to be 330 damage over 3 turns. We're even saying, do you figure out Fatal Teleport? Yes. So what was going wrong with it, Raynuva? You're back onto the audio. Is that the guide I was using here was running under the assumption that a monster would have its main at will attack. It would have then secondary attacks, which you didn't really care about, and then a single main limited use attack. So as much as it says for multiple different options like limited use attacks and all that lot, it wasn't actually allowing for that kind of calculation. So you think about it, looking at it further, it gave the example down here of using a fireball once per day and then using just fire blast thereafter, and it met the goal they were going for. But if you had a fireball and then a cold ball and then a zapping ball, they're 3 different things, all of them 1 per day, that'd be 56 damage, 28 to 2 targets, followed by 56 damage, 28 to 2 targets, followed by 56 damage, 28 to 2 targets. So despite the aim of trying to get a 25, is what they were doing here, it would actually end up all the way up around here. Challenge rating 11, not challenge rating 4. So that was the issue, is that to get Fatal Teleport to work is actually to ignore the simplified way of doing this and instead take the damage per turn or damage per round, multiply that by 3, and that was the budget to work within. And then just roll it back from there. Hello Andrew, hope you're doing well today. And yo, Trekkie, thank you very much for subscribing at tier 1. Cheers, my dude. Enjoy your lovely new blue badge remotes to go with it, your access to the supporter tea lounge, and of course you had free viewing now here on Twitch. Thank you very, very much, Trekkie. And in case you missed the notification over on Discord as well, if you are looking to get yourself some Xbox Game Pass, if you haven't already used the the promotion that's on Twitch at the moment, apparently if you sub and also gift a sub, and this is up until I think 1 hour after the end of today's stream, the promotion is running. I found out about this very late, sadly. But yeah, if you sub and gift a sub or give 2 subs, you get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass. It's pretty damn cool. Just something to think about. Thank you very much, Trekkie. I really appreciate it. Alright, yeah, so, as I was saying, Raynuva, I'm doing the addition of the damage over 3 turns, and then working it back from there. So, looking at the Ash Master, With the Fatal Teleport, I've set that to 80 damage now. That plus a legendary action of a dagger for 15 damage. That gives 95 damage on turn 1. After that, we've got Shuriken for 34 as a bonus action. Multi-attack, 15 times 3, 45. That comes out to 34, 45, 79. And then again, they've got legendary action for 15. And then turn again, they can do another Shuriken and triple dagger attack. All 3 times that comes out to around about challenge rating, all the way as high as 19, so it can get quite high, the damage from challenge 15. But these things can have significant variance. One thing I don't like about 5th edition's challenge rating system is it has such huge variance in it. If you run, say for example, a red dragon, an adult red dragon against the challenge rating stats, you'll find that it's actually far and away strips these stats. It's well rated in the books. But then you can find other monsters which are well underrated, which is... well overrated and underrated, the other way around, you know what I mean. Dragons are stronger than they should be, other monsters are weaker than they should be. It's annoying. There was very clearly a design goal in making D&D, and then they just went, you know what, we'll make some monsters tough for their challenge rating. It's like, that's not how a rating system works. If something is rated at a level, it's because it's at that level. Yeah, 5e. So I'm not concerned about the damage stats being quite so high on Ash, even still in the end. It's only 4 challenge ratings higher, which is actually per turn, only taking it from 75 you'd expect for challenge 15 to 95. It's not that big of an increase. To say that the defensive stats, the hit points are about 2 tiers, well, 1 tier down. The AC is 1 tier down. It's more limited in that regard. So yeah, it did manage to work out in the end. I was right, the damage felt off, but it came down to how many options Ash actually had available to him. Go back to the phones. You have fun with that, right, Nova? As much fun as you can. Yeah. Work. Right, so, Bladestorm. Yes, we're at numbers-wise, so... given that we've got Fatal Teleport, we can assume Fatal Teleport will be used turn 2, and that Shuriken will be used turn 3. Ash doesn't have to use it that way around, and it may be better not to, but we can work with those assumptions. What we can say then is that we've got 80 and 79 because the way it works out. Actually, yeah, because damage didn't go up. 80 and 79. We got 15 each time coming out from legendary actions. We are aiming at around about the challenge 22 to 24 mark for damage, so 110 to 120. Those ones taking out about 95 per turn means they're actually short around about 20 per turn. So that means that Bladestorm, we can give it 20 over our aim. We're looking at around 110 damage. We can give it a total of about 130 damage, split across 2 creatures. I mean, this is guaranteed to hit more than that. This is guaranteed to hit more than that. So I can scale that back still. But we're looking for around about 130. If I say across 3 creatures and 40 damage, and then if more on range, well, tough, that's what you get. If I say an aim of 40 damage per creature, but that seems a bit low. So in Fatal Teleport is doing 80 there. Have I done my math right? Don't think I have. No, I haven't. No. Fatal Teleport and all the bits there on that turn, it comes to 95. Which means it's short by 20 of the aim. I need to go 40 above, right. I need about 150 damage. Yeah, I could say 50 damage per target. Bladestorm, if we say it's aiming for around about 50 damage per player that it's hitting, but that would be assuming that it's a attack basis and so it could miss. Do I make it against a saving throw? Zom, I've already done the edit. I put that in the notes over on the Discord, so if I just bring up the Discord real quickly. Well, I head on over to the Miscellaneous Games, Warframes, Dungeons & Dragons, Monsters. So I put in details. Since the stream, damage stats have been changed across the Adept and Master to be more in line with expectations. Dagger Mastery is a reduced bonus, failed teleport, single attack, yada yada yada. So I've already done those changes. They are in the updated document that you guys have access to. So everything up to Ash Master. And I went through all of the other frames as well to check over those, make sure there's no other issues along that line. Let's put into there, Vault's been added on, and since the stream, Discharge has been reduced from 16 D10 down to just 10 D10. And also added in some condition and damage immunities to Vault Prime to match the other primes. Yeah, I had gone over those ones already, Tom. That's already been sorted. I'm sorry to hear that, Hefferbray. Sorry to hear your sound cards died. That is no good at all, no. Okay, Bladestorm, so one action. How am I going to go about this then? I'm going to make an attack, guaranteed hit, saving throw, I think. Because the Shadow Clones, they're not illusory, they are actually stabbing, so it's not intelligence. They're not messing with your senses, so it's not wisdom. It's not displacing your soul, so it's not charisma. Constitution, it's not poison, so it's not that. It's not a strength save, it's not shoving you, so it would be a dex save if it's not an attack. But the problem with a dex save is that it leaves it too vulnerable to those who can just resist dex saves. And dex saves are used for so much in D&D, but I suppose Ash is just a very physical approach to assassinations. So either go dex saves or just straight up attacks. Chocodinka, hello there, how are you doing today? Can you get a little rewind? Hello there, Chocodinka, how are you doing today? There you go, that's your brief rewind. The replay will be available. You know the replay channel, and you know the VOD's available here on Twitch. You'll be able to catch the details you missed. But, for the sake of you and everyone else watching those VODs later, and also for those watching right now, I will just continue forwards. No, you don't? No, you don't what, sorry? I'm lost. Alright, so, yeah. I'm gonna... I think I might just give this a Fatal Teleport treatment of giving it that massive 2-hit bonus. Giving it the intelligence enhancement. Or... No! Hang on. You know what I can do? Corocop replays, not archive. What I can do is I can give them innate advantage on the attack. Because players can counter that. Players can create a way to have disadvantage against them. You can go in dodging. So there are ways to counter that. So if I give the attack natural advantage... Advantage, if Ash is invisible, the spell itself will have advantage. That would be the way. Okay, so if I give it a normal approach. I think I have it. This might be overpowered, so we'll need to double check, but I think I have it. If Ash is invisible, you can cast it as a bonus action. Because if I recall correctly, I think you have some kind of bonus to invisibility, or due to invisibility on this. Synergy. Invisibility by means of smokescreen or other allied abilities will halve the energy cost of Bladestorm from 12 to 6 per mark. So, using that same idea, if Ash is invisible, rather than using an action, it uses a bonus action. That, I think, creates a balancing effort to make it where the spell can be more powerful. How does that sound, chat? Give it a nice standard, just go through the motions, melee spell attacks. But if Ash is invisible, it's a bonus action, and because of invisibility, it's also going to have the advantage to hit. That's what steps it up to being 9th level. He can build into it. I think that works. The only other thing to consider then is range. What is the default range for the ability here anyway? 50 meters. That's pretty far. That's pretty far. It's not as far as the default for teleport. Granted. And for this, what's the targeting range on Shuriken? 60 meters. Okay, it's actually one of the shorter abilities he's got then. So, if I keep this on the lower end, if I keep this 45 foot, or wait, no, effective step at 90 foot. If I go for 60 foot, then it's in counterspell radius. Further meaning, if Ash is not invisible, he can be seen, casting it very dangerous. Excuse me. Huh. Hello, Jason. Game more D&D Warframes? Oh, yes. Alright, yeah. I think I'm pretty sold on how we're going to take this then. So, Ash marks any number of creatures it can see within 60 feet. To be... No, just marked. Ash marks any number of creatures it can see within 60 feet. Every marked creature is attacked by a shadow clone of Ash. We'll go melee spell attack plus 15. Is it plus 15? No, it's plus 12 to hit. Plus 12 to hit. On hit, the target takes... Now, we need to get to 50 damage. Let's think about using... You know what doesn't get used enough? D12s. D12s do not get used enough. Also, I say is attacked, is backstabbed. Let's use a better word. Attacked is basic. Every marked creature is backstabbed by a fleeting shadow clone of Ash. There we go. There we go. That's much better. Clone sounds quite technical here, but it's shadow clone. The clone is given the idea that it is of Ash, shadow clone that it's not quite corporeal, and fleeting that it is very temporary. I'm adding in those bits of descriptors there to help mark that down. So melee spell attack plus 12 to hit. On hit, the target takes aiming for around about 50 damage. If I'm using D12s, D12s do not get used well enough. The average on a D12 is 6.5, or 2D12 is 13. Let me think. 13, we'll get 39, 52? Yeah. 8D12 for 52. 8D12 magical piercing damage. I think that was that right. 4 lots of 13. Yeah, that's 52. If Ash is invisible when casting this spell, it may cast it as a bonus action instead of an action. It may cast it as a bonus action instead of an action, and the shadow clones have advantage to hit. Renee was saying, Muted Stream, is this a concentration spell or would that make it too weak? So with Bladestorm, I know that normally you activate it, look around, deactivate, shadows happen. But the thing is, that happens, if you're playing Ash correctly, that happens within like a second. That's not so much a do this, something, do that, where concentration will be necessary. It's pretty much the casting of, I'm going to cast it on you guys. It's very quick. And then the actual process that takes place, it's slowed down for the game, but we don't need to slow it down in D&D even. We don't need to individually go through everyone being hit. I feel like it just messes it up too much. When Suggestion and the Shadow Clones have advantage on their attacks. On their attacks. That sounds better, yeah. Thank you very much, Jason, yeah. So, Ash marks any number of creatures it can see within 60 feet. Every marked target is backstabbed by a fleeting shadow clone of Ash. Melee spell attack, plus 12 to hit. On hit, the target takes 52 magical piercing damage. If Ash is invisible when casting a spell, it may cast it as a bonus action instead of an action, and the Shadow Clones have advantage on their attacks. I think that sums it up quite neatly. You don't need to do anything else with it, it's just, here's your little bit of flavour, Ash is marking them, they are backstabbed by fleeting Shadow Clones. And anyone who's seen the ability knows exactly what kind of imagery to have in their head there. Pops out of nowhere, stab, effects off. Fleeting. Doesn't need anything else to it, really, does it? Now for 9th level, I'm calling it a 9th level spell. That is possibly asking a bit much, but at the same time, it's within 60 feet. So the more enemies are in range, the more this can do. Like, this can really scale. If you've got a party of 6, for example, you're like, oh yeah, we can take on an Ash Prime. There's 6 of us, 1 of you. What are you going to do? He goes, well, I'm going to stab every single one of you. First turn goes invisible. And in going invisible, then throws out some daggers. Second turn, still invisible. Gets the bonus action on Blade Storm. All of that stuff happening. So that will be potentially 300 damage, and still has the action available to multi-attack, and still has a legendary action. Justin saying, invisible, Ash, bonus action, Blade Storm, most everyone. My whole party is being shadow stabbed, he fails to teleport to a tank. Nope, nope. Jason, that can't happen. You're forgetting a very critical rule of Dungeons and Dragons right there. Very important rule which balances a lot of the builds here. Casting time and Warframes. Warframes are powerful, but still follow casting rules. They cannot cast a leveled spell as both an action and bonus action on the same turn. Mix of abilities with normal attacks. It is a common mistake. A lot of tables to allow spellcasters to cast on both their action and their bonus action. It is a very common mistake, and it leads to people going, oh my god, spellcasters can do too much. Granted they can, yes, but they're doing more than they should. They're not supposed to nuke that hard. So it's designed here to give them options, as I've done this same thing with other frames as well. Like Vault here has the action sock, bonus speed, action electric shield, action discharge. And then we've got the actions and bonus actions of weapons down here too. It's supposed to force them to bounce between. They can't go for speed and one of the other spells. Same with Mag. Mag has got bonus action, action, bonus action, action. Like, those spells are really split between the options there. But again, they can't do magnetize and then immediately polarize. They have to hold one for the other. And especially with the use of concentration on magnetize, that really puts Mag in a tough spot. That really does put them in a tough spot, because if they lose their concentration, oh, for God's sake, we'll have to set that up again now. Wasting their actions. So it creates the counterplay, it creates the balance, it creates ways that whilst the Warframes have powers and options, there's not just a single correct answer, like be invisible, shadow dance with Blade Storm, and then also Fatal Teleport. That would just be too much. But the next turn, yeah, absolutely. Next turn, if they're still invisible, Ash is absolutely using that. Although, I can't say if they're still invisible, only less until the end of their next turn. They have to be very careful on the usage. They only get one smoke screen. Do I give them 2 smoke screens? I give them 2 smoke screens. 1 is not enough at this level. If the fight only lasts 3 turns, sure, but after that, they're going to be extremely vulnerable. I'm going to give them a 2nd smoke screen. I know it's powerful. That is kind of the intent here. I'm going to give them a 2nd smoke screen. Doesn't need to go any higher level, just having that additional cast of a bonus action invisibility can again just move things around. I think that works. I might be wrong, I think that works. Let's see. I need to make it... Oh, I've just noticed on the Fatal Teleport, I thought I put this in here, but I didn't actually put that it's meant to have the higher hit bonus. So I'm just going to fix that now. Immediately after teleporting, Ash may make an attack against a target object or creature, striker with a magical blade. This attack is enhanced. By Ash's spellcasting ability. That just reinforces that the plus 18 to hit is intentional. We'll say, no, this attack is enhanced by Ash's spellcasting ability and melee prowess or weapon proficiency. No. How do I know? This attack uses both of Ash's dexterity and spellcasting ability. Yeah. Abilities. Plural. There, I think that clears that up on the Fatal Teleport, that it is supposed to be that much higher level in terms of how hard it hits. Let me just grab that and I'll pop that onto the Ash Master that doesn't have that currently. There we go. Which shouldn't have broken anything. And indeed it didn't. Okay, cool. That's fine. That is all fine. Wonderful. And then looking through this, we've got the spellcasting, we've got the spells, multi-attack, the plus hit is 12, yep. Damage, yep. Legendary actions, yep. Alright, so let's see how this plays out. Let's assume that first turn, Ash uses smokescreen, goes invisible. Because that is a bonus action. Yeah, because that is a bonus action, Ash now invisible, uses daggers as an action with the multi-attack, deals 15 damage 3 times over, so that's 45, followed by a legendary action later as well for another 15, 60 damage. Okay. Next turn, invisibly uses Blade Storm as a bonus action. That's gonna, we assume, hit 2 enemies. That 52... I say assume 2, it's actually probably going to be 3, but let's say 2, that's how the rules work. It says assume 2 usually. So that would be 104 damage. That brings up to 164. Plus another 45. That's 207. Plus another 15. 207 becomes 222. Turn 3, Ash is now visible again. Ash decides to use Fatal Teleport. 222 becomes 302. That's our action. And then legendary action again. 302 becomes 317. And considering that our aim was about 330, that actually ended up being slightly low, but because we got such high plus attacks and invisibility is helping out for advantage, I think that almost works out just fine. As an ideal, this is what Ash can do run without even using Shuriken there, I think that works out. I do think that works out. So, we just need to make sure the rest of the stats are in the right place. Legendary actions don't need to touch, they can sit where they are. We've got hide, reposition dagger, that's all fine. The ability to use a dagger, another player takes a turn, then he hides again, they lose track of him, that's just nasty. So, yeah, done on that side. Just need to make sure all these make sense. Hit points. So we're aiming for around 270. The Constitution is a +3. D8 is 4.5, so it's 7.5. D whatever. So 270 divided by 7.5 is 36. We just need to update this to 36. 36 plus 36 times 3, which is a 108. And that gives us the stats there for Ash Prime. I need the immunities and resistances, which come after skills. Condition, then damage resistance. So condition immunities. Because his prime gets immunity to prone and restrained, which is just what I'm giving to all of them. It's kind of like using what do you call it? The prime sure-footed. You can't be not prone. And then the restraint is because also that would really mess up a Warframe, so let's kind of block that one, shall we? Damage immunity. I would like to give... Sorry, damage resistance. I would like to give Ash some kind of damage resistance. However, I don't want it to be a powerful one, like non-magical slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing, because he's supposed to be still kind of weak. So what would Ash be resistant to? What damage would Ash be resistant to? For Volt, it's obviously been lightning. For Mag, I've actually been nice to Mag and given them 2, so they've got Force and Lightning. I know, Force damage resistance. Unheard of. For Excalibur, I've given them the piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning from non-magical attacks. Kind of makes sense as a sword guy. They should have that. Ash, I feel like would be too strong having that on. It would imbalance the aim I'm going for there. So... I mean, granted, he's challenge rating 20, so he's supposed to be strong, but not that strong. What other damage types we got? Remind myself of that real quickly. We have got Fire, Cold, Lightning, Poison, Thunder, Radiant, Force, Necrotic, Acid, any of those I could pick up, Psychic even. Maybe I just don't give him a damage resistance. Honestly, looking through all of these, I don't feel like any of them are really fitting of Ash. Dark Vision. Supposed to be the assassin. Lives in smoke. So instead of a damage immunity, I'll give this as the first Warframe with Dark Vision out to 60 feet. Now, I need to remember if that's how you actually put it onto there. I don't think that is. Let me check. With my handy monster manual. Alright, give me a random one. Do you have senses? Yep. Alright, it goes at the front. Dark Vision, the range, dot comma. That was a blast of space. Okay, cool. I can do that. We just do that. There we go. Dark Vision, 60 feet. And Passive Perception, 20. There we go. And that, my lovely, lovely viewers, that is a Ash Prime completed, I believe. We got our saves, we got our skills, we got our conditions, senses, language challenge, bullet jump. Dagger Mastery doesn't need changing. Shuriken, Smokescreen don't need changing. We've done all the 2 hits and whatnot. Fatal Teleport updated with the correct addition in there. Blade Storm has been created. Innate Spellcasting, we've got Shuriken, Smokescreen, Fatal Teleport, Blade Storm, yep. Multi-attack unchanged, Dagger unchanged. I haven't increased the range on this. I'm going to increase the range. Yeah. I can throw them 4 times as far, just to take it that little bit further. It doesn't really change the challenge rating, but it does mean that Ash can do yet more with the daggers. So the range is now 80, and 180 becomes 240. 80, 240. Just a final finishing touch there. And that creates an Ash Prime. Cool. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Let's make a new page. This is where we finally get started on a new frame today. This is where we can finally move on from all the Ash stuff. And it is time for Atlas. Okie dokie. Now, with the blurb intro I gave for Ash, said, few have ever knowingly encountered an Ash Warframe. When it joins the battle, it does so through smoke and shadow, a master of assassination and bypassing all defenses. Watch your back, it's always behind you. That fourth ability definitely sells it. For Atlas, well, it's rock and stone, isn't it? This your kiddo's favourite frame? Oh, fair do, fair do. So, Atlas. Atlas. True to its name, is a mover of mountains. His control of rock and earth. Oh, it's not his, it's control of rock and earth enables Atlas to strike, to pummel enemies with the force of boulders. So I say, can't help but think of the description as just rock and stone in all caps, nothing else. Maybe in the meme version. Maybe in the meme one. Its control of rock and earth enables Atlas to pummel enemies with the force of boulders. At full power, Atlas can infuse those same rocks with an with a mimicry of life, turning them into temporary. Yeah, turn them into temporary constructs under its command. That brings the might and weight of the earth to pulverize enemies. Go full geologist here? Oh, no. We don't need to bring in random geological terms. We don't need to do that. We can stick with just the basics, like the landslide. Chiseled physique. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, Atlas, true to its name, is a mover of mountains. Its control of rock and earth enables Atlas to pummel enemies with the force of boulders. When you fight Atlas, you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Guys, please! This is not a meme version. Come on! At full power, Atlas can infuse those same rocks with a mimicry of life, turn them into temporary constructs under its command. I don't know if I want the mimicry of life bit. God, Max and Madge. Stop! Please! Oh, goodness gracious me. Some of you do not have the right icon next to your name to be making jokes this terrible. Suppose we could have a legendary action to be his asteroid busting punch. I mean, I get the One Punch Man. I really do get the ref there, but I don't know. I want him to be bringing the meteors, not shattering them. Alright, memes aside, I'm sick with that for now. I'm sick with that. We can come back to lore intros later. They're not what anyone cares about. Let's be real now. Anyone who's picking up this document, they're going, oh, cool, Ash, yeah, Ash does this. Give me the stats. How many people are going to be reading this versus going, Ash stats, give. And it's the same with Atlas. It's the same. Let's be real now. So, let's start making Boulder Boy. I'm going to copy up the stats here from the Ash Initiate, just so it gives us a starting point. And of course, it's going to be Atlas Initiate. And I'll start working my way through the details to fit this all in. Now, straight away in terms of design for Atlas, Atlas is supposed to be a bit of a chonky-danky boy, isn't he? Atlas is definitely more of a chonk. So, again, I'm going to aim for the challenge rating of 4. I think that's a good starting point. But this time, I'm going to have the AC and HP increased. And it's going to be the damage which is going to suffer as a result. Atlas is just going to be tough. And I want that toughness to enable him to potentially even just last more rounds to keep dealing the damage, rather than be wiped out so easily. So that's where we're going to go on that one. Now there is the passive to consider, where Atlas can gain armor from picking up rubble, but that in Warframe requires you to first turn enemies into rubble with his third ability, and then shatter them and pick up the rubble, which is not going to happen so much in D&D. So with the passive, I'm going to actually skip over the passive, and instead just go with more armor. I'm just going to go with more armor. I'm actually saying in my mind the powers of Atlas abilities go Bulwark, Smack, Boulders, Petrify. But we're still going through 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm keeping that 1, 2, 3, 4 approach to match him with the game. I know that that's not always the most powerful abilities. There's going to be some mix and match around on that. But I'm rebalancing things to make it where that approach upwards fits into 1, 2, 3, 4. So if someone picks up Atlas Initiate, they don't have to guess what ability he's going to have. They know, well, it's the Initiate, it's just going to have this one. Just got to address the rubble idea? Yeah. As I say, I've said this on our last stream as well, when merging these games together, a lot of stuff, a lot of the detail and finesse that we enjoy in a video game that's doing the calculations for us, I'm just going to have to throw to the side to enable us to have a character that can just actually be used. As a DM is not a computer, despite what some people might try to treat them like. DMs are humans too. Treat your DM well, guys, and do not give them overly complicated characters to run. So, Challenge Racing 4 is the aim. Going for the higher level of armor class. I'm going to raise the armor class nastily at the highest levels. Sorry, I had a very itchy ear for a second there. Going to go for the higher AC with higher levels. I'm going to start off more conservatively here. Just going to go a little bit above the aim. But when I say a little bit, it's going to be 16. It's going to be 16 AC. The health I'm not going to bump up as much as the armor class, as I don't want him to be overly tanky, but it does mean that I can safely bring down the damage stats. That should work out. So, armor class, I'm going to go for 16 natural armor. Speed, 30 feet. Yeah, we'll just keep that as a standard, because Atlas isn't a slow frame. He's pretty damn athletic. Literally, you see him in his idle pose, he's whoa, whoa, ready to punch you out, you know? You don't get someone who's a pro boxer who doesn't have some speed behind them, so we're going to leave that there. In terms of the stats then, we can absolutely just demolish that dexterity. No, thank you. We're putting this into strength. Straight into strength. There we go. So that's a 0. Constitution, that's going to need to be higher as well, so we'll take that out of the wisdom. And you know what? I'll take a bit out of the intelligence as well. Get that constitution going. Beefy boy right here. Intelligence is the casting stats, that always needs to hold on. And wisdom, we can drop that down. Charisma, as ever, I'm just leaving the charisma in the dirt. The Warframes, by design, are having terrible charisma. By design. So let's see, total stats here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then -3 for 3. Is that correct to my guide that I've been using? Yep. From my own design, +3 is the average. It's the total stat out of this tier. So that's good. Skills. So instead of stealth and sleight of hand, we're going to have athletics. Definitely athletics to start. And let me think. See, stone cunning isn't a skill, so I can't give him that. I think what I might do then, just understanding the natural order and whatnot. Nature's a skill in 5e, isn't it? Oops. Yeah, it is a skill. Yeah. So nature. Recall lore about terrain, plants, animals, weather, and natural cycles. Yeah. Nature it is. Nature makes perfect sense for Atlas to understand, because he understands the earth, rock, stone, that kind of stuff. And that is going to be a total of a +3. Passive perception is only 10 as a result, and that is absolutely fine. Armor class I've said is 16. The aim for hit points I'm going to put that just a little bit higher, aiming for around 90. We'll figure out, I can figure out right now how that comes out. So the D8s are going to be D8 plus 2, which is average of 6.5. 90 divided by 6.5 is 13.8. I'm going to say 14 then. So 14 D8 plus 28. 14 times 6.5 comes out to 91 hit points. So close to the aim. That works. 91 hit points on this Atlas. There's a tanky boy. As I said the entire way through, there's a tanky boy. Once per turn, Atlas, we change the name of now, Atlas may turn a jump into a bullet jump, jumping as if it had a run up and able to cover twice the distance. That vertical, normal vertical is 3 plus your strength modifier, which in this case will be 6, double that to 12. Horizontal is your strength score, 16, so in this case, 32. That's one hell of a horizontal jump. Dagger Mastery is not a thing. That's gone. Shuriken is not a thing. That's gone. It is Landslide. Because that is, of course, Atlas's first ability. We can just pop into Atlas real quickly here. Landslide. Yeah. And one thing with Landslide is that at the lower levels of the initiates, it's just Landslide. It's just the charge and punch. But as we step up, the Adept and the Master will get improved versions which allow for chained punching, which I think could make the ability more devastating without having the lower level version be too much to handle. They're supposed to be simpler creatures at lower tiers. So Landslide is a spell, 1 action. And we'll figure out the details on that in a moment. Innate spellcasting, the Atlas's innate spellcasting is Intelligence. DC is 11. Spell attack bonus is +3. And it can innately cast the following spell once per short rest. Not Shuriken, it's called Landslide here. And then we've got, for the attacks, we're just going to say Fists. Because that's what Atlas uses, Fists. And I might need to give him an ability that says that the Fists just do more damage than normal. So melee attack, melee weapon attack is +5 to hit, reach 5 foot, no or range. One target hit, we'll figure that out. They'd have a 3, so they'd have a base 4. I don't want them to make loads of attacks. I want them to be bouldery attacks. Whack, whack. So I think what I could do is I can make them D8s. D8 plus a strength. If I have the boulder fists, or whatever we want to call the passive. What would I call that? I'll figure out a name in a moment. But basically, I want to give the punches just that much more weight behind them. So 2 punches will get us around about to our damage target. Now our damage target, challenge rating 4, we're going a bit lower than this because he's a tanky boy. And so with that then, if I just go a little bit lower, just a little bit, the attack bonus is also already lower, so that's fine. So if I go for around the 20 mark, now D8 plus 3 averages to 7.5, I want to say, which would write down as 7. Yeah, so D8 plus 3 would be 7. So 2 attacks, that would be 14. So that would be on the lower side. It'd be lower even than challenge rating 2, which gives us room for Landslide to be a more powerful option by quite a margin. If we're going for 14 per turn on the second 2 turns, they are short by around about 6, which means that the Landslide we can go with 14 plus 12, that's 26 damage roughly. And if we have Landslide dealing, say, around about 20 damage to a single target and then around 6 damage to an adjacent target, that should work. Because that gives us 26. So yeah, there we go. That builds into how we're going to make this all work. So Fists, we're going to say it actually deals 1d8 plus the 3 from Strength, which averages out to 7 here. Piercing damage is bludgeoning damage. No if thrown needed, that's just a thing. Multi-attack Atlas makes 2 attacks with its fists. No further information required, there we go. Passive. Name pending. We'll figure something out on that one. Atlas's attacks with its fists are empowered. Empowered by? Strike harder. No. Atlas's attack with its fists. I want some description for hits really hard like a boulder, but boulders don't hit, boulders sit. How to describe that? Atlas's attacks with its fists. I just want to give some kind of flavoury description. I don't like things which are pure mechanical. A little bit of flavour helps sell the idea. What's your intended effect? So I'm just describing why it's got a D8 on a fist attack. Because normally fist, unarmed strike, that would just be 1 plus your strength modifier. This is 1d8. So this is the passive to explain why Atlas just hits so hard with his fists. But I'm looking for a description that would fit that fits Atlas to explain why he's just so much of a punchy boy. Why is he strong? How do I describe the strength of a rockman in this instance without just saying once again he has the power of a boulder, because I've done that here, to be honest. I'm drawing a blank. The massive mountains behind each blow. Might be overselling it. It's only a D8. Frankly, if you get hit with a mountain, it's going to hit a little bit more than a D8. I don't want to be over dramatic either. That's why I'm not going for something with mountains. I was thinking boulders, because you get hit with a big rock, that's going to hurt. You get hit with an entire mountain, that's you're dead. There's not a lot you can do about being hit with a mountain. What's the car cup? Cheers. The living mountain nature of an Atlas increases its unarmed damage dice to a D8. You know what? That works. The living mountain nature of Atlas. Don't need to say an Atlas, just Atlas, because it's an individual block. The living mountain nature of Atlas increases its damage, unarmed damage dice to a D8. Brackets included in the attack. Boom. Yep. And you know what? You know what? Zom, this is going back to what you said. I've got the perfect name for this passive right here. There we are. What other name could it have been? Let's be realistic now. What other name could I possibly have given to the passive other than Rock and Stone? It had to be. There we go. Alright then, Landslide spell, 1 action. Atlas supercharges a punch. Rocky Balboa? No, that's too obvious. In fact, it's actually aging itself slightly going with that name. Nah, I'll pass on that one. Sentient Hill? I mean, that just sounds like a kind of a B-movie horror flick. Sentient Hill. Like the knockoff Silent Hill. Hell seems awfully peaceful. It does rather, doesn't it? Oh, have you been to Sentient Hill today? Oh, yeah, it's lovely up there, isn't it? Rather. You could just feel the hills are, like, alive or something. Does it give you the idea of a boxer turned mountain flesh going punch, and your face just falls off. Yeah, not quite the same. Alright, Atlas Supercharge. Ooh, supercharges. A punch with explosive force. Atlas propels. Oh, Atlas. I always said supercharge. I don't need to charge. Atlas surges towards an enemy within 15 feet. Without using its movement nor provoking attacks of opportunity. The spell is just so damn fast. Sentient Hill is a suburban neighborhood on town. Nice, Ladybug, nice. The hills have eyes and hands, and they want to punch you. I mean, that's basically a Geodude, right? If we're really thinking about it, eyes, hands, and wants to punch you, it's a Geodude. So, Landslide. Atlas supercharges punch with explosive force. Atlas surges towards an enemy within 15 feet without using its movement nor provoking attacks of opportunity. Atlas makes a melee spell attack against the target, which is a +3 to hit. On hit, the target takes... Now we're aiming for around 20 damage here, so let's break out the d12s again. 2d12 gives 13. 3d12 should be 19. Yeah, 3d12. So 19 bracket 3d12 bludgeoning damage. Immediately, oops, after the attack, all creatures hostile to Atlas within 5 feet of the target, including the original target, must make a dexterity saving throw, which is DC 11. I said, yeah, DC 11. On a failed save, the creature takes, that's creature takes 3 brackets 1d6 thunder damage. Throw in a bit of thunder. Hello, Bravroni, and Wolvins, cheers on the hydrate. Geodude would be a very small hill. I mean, yeah. Like, pile of them. Pile of Geodudes. This is slightly to get into SCP territory, but there we are. Okay, Landslide. Atlas supercharges a punch with explosive force. Atlas surges towards an enemy within 15 feet without using its movement nor provoking attacks of opportunity. Atlas makes a melee spell attack against the target, which is +3 to hit. On hit, the target takes 19 3d12 bludgeoning damage. Immediately after the attack, all creatures hostile to Atlas within 5 feet of the target, including the original target, must make a dexterity saving throw, DC 11. On a failed save, the creature takes 3 1d6 thunder damage, which, assuming another creature is caught within the radius, that would be on average 6 damage if they hit, which is what we always count by. God, after all the stuff we're doing with Ash Prime, this feels weak, but it's challenge 4, and it's a tank challenge 4, so it's supposed to feel weak. With Landslide then, Landslide comes in, 19 damage, target and one adjacent for 3 damage each, comes out to 25 damage on turn 1, follow-up turns 2 and 3, 14 each, so we got 25 plus 28, comes out to 53, divide that by 3 is a number. We'll grab the calculator. It is 17.6, which is pretty much where I wanted it, about challenge 2 to 3. Weaker overall attacks, but has the tank to survive. Atlas casts Fist. Atlas does indeed cast Fist. He's got Fist. On one turn he can go Fist, and then if he really feels like it, he can go Super Fist. So, yeah, Atlas casts Fist. Definitely. Alright, yeah, that's a finished stat block, isn't it? It's got everything we need. Calculates the armor class, hit points, speed, stats, skill, sense, challenge, bullet jump, rock and stone, landslide, spell casting is all correct. Atlas makes attacks with fist, punchy, punchy, punch. Yeah, that's it. That's a finished one. Just leaning into the D12 flavor of Atlas, would you consider setting base hit dice to D12s as well? For some reason, classically, 5e monsters have their hit dice based on their size. So medium-sized creatures have D8s for their hit dice, just as a thing. I've not seen an example where that's otherwise different. So I'm just sticking with D8 for now. Rennie are asking, are we integrating the combo punch? Yes, but not in the initiate. In the higher levels, yes, that's where Atlas gets them. So the idea is that Atlas Adept will have a double combo available. So Landslide, use bonus action, second punch. And then Atlas Master and Prime will have bonus action, punch and punch again as part of the Landslide. And with the double punches, it will also scale to yet more damage. That allows me to bring it up massively, whilst the starting attack still sits where it is. That's the idea on that one. It should work. Maybe. Probably. We'll see. In any case, that is a Atlas Initiate. I think that's just done. Yeah. I don't know if that was the symbolizations I need to use. Let me check. It's not. It's those. So that creates a new line, or rather, new column, which allows me to then grab this, copy this, paste it down. Bam! It goes into here without creating any weird artifacting to create the Atlas Adept. And it was saying, sounds like inspiration from jabbing style tree from Pathfinder. There we are, great minds think alike, because I've never seen that in Pathfinder, but then I've never played Pathfinder. Never had the opportunity. Alright then, Atlas Adept. Let's jump him up to challenge 10, why not? Because I think I did the same with Ash, didn't I? Yes, I did. So, why not? Atlas, become challenge 10. Scare the bejesus out of our players, please. Challenge 10, aiming for 16 AC, 150 HP. I'm going to raise that. I'm going to make that 18 AC. Well, how far would we get up at the 20 there? 4 over it. 23 AC will be a lot. It's supposed to be a lot. No, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to 19 AC. Let's just make it where the level 10 they should be handling some stuff. So let's make this 19 AC. Let's make them regret trying to just bust through the AC of Atlas. I'm going all out on the armor. 19 AC, and we'll aim for around about 165 hit points. Don't want to give him too much health. Yeah, 165. So around 165 hit points, around 19 AC. We'll figure out where the stats all land to make that happen. Speed doesn't need to go up. We'll still just go for rock. They're trying to hurt rock. It should be difficult. Exactly, Jason. Exactly. Atlas is armored. If you are trying to fight the dude who has armor, and you go, yeah, but I don't want to use armor, it's going to end badly. That is the idea. Rennie was saying for the jabbing style tree, essentially bonus damage per consecutive hit. Final feat in the tree goes at plus 3d6 damage. Makes sense, yeah. That is about the same idea. Unless they hit Atlas in the meat flaps, well, I think that's a crit, Brother Oni. That is definitely a crit. Alright, let's make these stats happen. So, according to my guide, we need to get a total of plus 8 onto here, 2 of which will be going into Charisma, because that's just always at this stage I do that. The Charisma on this dude's going all the way up to an 8. Still a bit of a meathead, but it's fine. So I've got another plus 6 I need to put across the other stats. So, the Strength, obviously I want to give 1 to. Got 5 left to do. Let's bring the Dexterity up. 4 left to do. Constitution, I'm going to make that up and up again. 3, 2 left to do. Intellect's bringing up 1. 1 left to do. And I'll put that into wisdom. 0 left to do. There we go. That's just the standard I have. Initiates have a total of +3, Adepts of +11, Masters of +16, Primes of +22 across their stats. So I think that works. Ladybug say, I stepped away for a bit. Are we trying to subject Atlas to erosion? Would we? Are we? What? Heat them up and quickly call him to shatter him? Okay. Alright, I'm going to leave you guys with that for a moment. So you do your freestyle weathering of your rocky ideas. I'm going to get on to giving Atlas everything he needs. So, we can add on a save at this tier. Saving throws. And that obviously is going to be strength. There's just no question about it, it's strength. Proficiency bonus should be +4 at this tier. So that's going to be a +8. I just put +8. Proficiency 4. Athletics is no longer a 5, it is going to be a 9. Nature is no longer a 3, it is going to be a 6. Athletics is not a 9. 4 + 4 does not equal 9, Ken. What are they? How did I? Anyway, that happened. What skills given? We've got athletics, we've got nature. What's Mr. Punchy Boy going to be up to next in terms of skills? Because endurance isn't a skill in 5th edition, now it's 4th edition, so that doesn't count. People have pet rocks. Animal handling. There we are. Animal handling. Yeah, I'll get back to the hit dice, Brother Oni. I'll get back to it. Alright, animal handling. Alphabetically goes here. Animal handling, which is wisdom base, that's +5. There we are. Is history a skill? History is a skill, yeah. Yeah, so I can put history on the next one, but I like the idea of adding in the pet rock skill. I'm sorry. I'm attached to that. The moment it came to mind, I've got to give him the pet rock skill. I have to. And he's already got nature. Because nature is what rocks go to. History is history, nature is nature. But yeah, you're right. History we can add on the next one. I'm sorry, he asked about the pet rock. He has to. He has to. Yeah, alright. Challenge 10, the XP on Challenge 10 is 5,900. 5,900? Yeah, it's 5,900. Font's a little bit annoying at this resolution, but it's fine. Oh, yeah. I can imagine someone just going through a DM reading out, it's like, Atlas, why does a guy all about punching and rocks have animal handling? And just one of their players will pop up, oh, he's got a pet rock. And the DM's just going to face post, why did I pick up this supplement? And that will be entirely worth it. That will be fully worth it right there and then. I'm a monster. Anyway, with the stats figured out on the basic level here, we can go back and figure out the hit point stuff. So the Constitution is +4 to D8, +4 is an average of 8.8. Aim for 165 divided by 8.5 even. Oh, that comes out to 19.4. I don't want the hit points too high, so I'm going to round down there. So we'll go 19 D8, which will give us 161. That works. 19 D8 and 19 times 4 is 76. Thank you, calculator. I don't need to do arithmetic. I have a calculator. The ideal DM will know how to appreciate the pet rock skill. Could you imagine? It does all of this build up, all this chatter around you. You better watch out for my ferocious companion. Like, okay, we fought other Warframes. They had a flame school. They had direwolves. What's this one got? And Alice just brings out this rock. Like, dude, that's just a fucking rock. You doubt rock! Smash. That's, yeah. For language, we should have primordial or whatever the specific version is. We'll do that on the primes on. As much as I appreciate yes, and I kind of want to do that, I want to save the crazy stuff, the primes. So I'm going to give that one to the prime. You're absolutely on point. I'm going to do that. Whatever the elemental language is, Atlas is getting that one. It's going to be... It's not Ignean, it's... Terran, I want to say? Is that what they put it in the books? Oh, I need to figure it out. I gotta find this now. Elementals, where are ya? Let's see. D for dragons, dragon turtle, Etacap. Oh no, I've gone too far. Empyrean. Elves. Elementals. Earth elemental. Language. Terran. I remembered it. It's Terran. Yeah. Ugh. Absolutely stonks. I'm doing that. I went away for a moment, then I saw Ken throwing a rock at a screen. Perfect timing. I mean, you know, what else do you expect from a geologist turned streamer, eh? What else do you expect? You call the language don't get split in 5e? Well, just learn you something there, you want. There we are. Alright, cool. So, bullet jump, let's update the stats on this. Twice the distance, the vertical is now 14 feet. I knew that. 18 doubled is 36. There we go. Rock and stone, we can just leave that as is for the moment. We'll figure out if I need to change it. Maximo saying, please tell me Octavia won't have cooking as a skill if it exists. Someone goes, is mayonnaise an instrument? Oh, gods. Oh, gods. No, no, no. Instead, Octavia's going to have performance. You still say engineering? Engineering isn't a skill in 5th edition, no. I thought you were making some kind of joke on engineer. Oh, engineering isn't a skill. Yeah. You might wonder why, and the answer is, well, engineering's too modern. You don't get engineering in a medieval era. No one ever designed things like aqueducts in ancient times. That never happens. Engineering isn't a skill. Yeah. But history is, as well as nature and animal handling and sleight of hand. Religion, arcana, but not engineering. You can get tools, blacksmithing tools. You can be proficient in a set of cards, but there's no engineering. Yeah. 5th edition. It ain't perfect. It's the system that everyone goes, I suppose we can play that one, rather than everyone's ideal system. It's not bitter about lack of engineering? Not at all, no! Not one bit, no. I say, 5th edition is the edition that everyone can compromise on. It's just the ultimate compromise. So, if you got someone who wants to play Dark Heresy, and someone who wants to play Pathfinder, someone who wants to play, what's it? Well, I think it's Worlds Without End, or something like that, and Stars Without End. You got someone who wants to play something more basic, and Munchkin, whatever, I'm not sure. All those different desires and wants for a tabletop setting, but no one can really agree. Everyone can agree. Well, 5e kind of handles it. 5e kind of gets there. So yeah. Right. Let's go with the rest of it. We've got Landslide, we've got all the stuff. What I want to do is get straight onto the... What's it darn well called? I don't even remember the name of this one. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. Tectonics. Tectonics. Okay. Spell. I'm thinking this is going to be an action as well. Or is it? I mean, what do we actually get from it? It just summons a rock wall. What's Move Earth? Mold Earth. Mold Earth is the closest I can think of right now. Cantrip 1 action, but we're making it well stronger than a cantrip, so we can do a lot more on this with it. Yeah. I'm happy sticking with an action for now. That's fine. We'll work from there. Hello, Grumpy Pants. Suppose engineering isn't ever likely to come up in a typical adventure campaign. I would disagree, but that's... 5e, as I say, it's the compromise setting, or compromise rules, and part of that as well is that it's not really the best at anything, but it's the system I know best. Wall of Stone is a spell? Oh yeah, Wall of Stone is a spell. That is true. Yeah. Wall of Stone 5e. Wall of Stone is a 5th level evocation. We're actually up in a good spot there then. A non-magical wall of solid stone springs into existence at a point you choose within range. Wall is 6 inches thick, composed of 10 by 10 foot panels. Okay, we're not making a wall that big. Each panel must be contiguous, blah, 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 blah. Wall cuts through creature's space when it appears. Creatures pushed to one side or the other. Not really that important. Wall can have any shape. Not important. If you span greater than this length, must halve the size of each panel to create supports. Oh, right, if it spans across bridge and chasm, yeah, that makes sense. Wall is an object made of stone, can be damaged and breached. Each panel has AC 15 and 30 hit points per inch of thickness. We'll bear that in mind for how Or describe the wall then? Because we can give it stats. Okay, now Atlas's tectonics. It doesn't seem to be very wide. Reactivating will turn it into a boulder. Because it is basically just a wall. Which you can then also chuck. You know what, actually? No, I'm going to make this a bonus action to summon the wall. And then they can follow it up with an action in the same casting of the spell, or later at a point they choose, to launch it as a boulder away from them. Yeah, we're going to go that way. Game seems like it's about 5 foot high and 10 foot wide. I think what I'll do is make it... I'll stick with the 5x10. I'll stick with the 5x10. I'll specify that Atlas can use it as full cover. Yeah. 30 HP wall seems low. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's not a 30 hit point wall. You've misunderstood. 30 hit points per inch of thickness in Wall of Stone. But it said the wall is 6 inches thick. So typically that's 180 hit points. Which is a little bit crazy. I mean, technically, if you read this very technically, each panel has AC 15 and 30 hit points per inch of thickness. You could say it's 15 AC per inch of thickness, but I think that's intentionally misreading it there. I feel like there should be a comma right there. But that might have just been missed in the translation over to the compendium. Point is, it's got a lot more than 30 hit points. At least in that spell. So we can go for those kinds of things to guide us. We have skimming. Oh yeah, a lot of these things you have to be very careful to catch each individual bit. It's why wizardry is so hard to do. If you get even one slight bit, one syllable of a word wrong, you can blow the entire thing out of the water. You gotta be careful casting spells. You gotta be careful. Max Badge saying in Capture, the tectonic is 1x4 by 2.5. However, there's 5 decently big holes in it. Well, we won't worry about the holes. Won't worry about the holes. So, Tectonics spell 1 bonus action for the summoning of it. We can add on an action as part of the spell invoked in it. Atlas draws up rock from the ground to create a barrier in front of itself. Rock wall has a height of 5 foot, width 10 foot, and thickness 6 inches. Stick with the 6 inches. 6 inches. Yeah, 6 inches. For those of you who don't think in feet or inches, think of 6 inches as it's going to be about 15 centimeters, which very conveniently. Less convenient by the second as I forget where I put it. Where did I put it? There it is. There we are. 6 inches. That thick. I hope that came up on screen properly. I didn't actually look at my view to see if that works. Yeah, it did. It's fine. My own Twitch is quite behind me at the moment. Anyway, so, it creates a wall. Will there be punch wall or 3 walls or both? 3 walls or both? I'm creating the wall and then action you can boulder the wall. It's just a wall. And I can only cast it once because it's going to be one per short to rest anyway. So, thickness 6 inches. Oh, Grumpy Pants, shut up. No. Come on, we're talking about stuff that is made of rocks here, okay? Just a rock hard wall. Nothing else you need to get into your mind about the dimensions that something that's solid has, okay? Nothing more you should have in your mind right now. So, the wall provides total cover for Atlas. You think of the augment with 3 tectonics? Okay. We won't need to think about augments on this one. Just simple wall will do. The wall provides total cover for Atlas. while Atlas can still perceive beyond it without issue. Just to give Atlas a bonus. There's someone mentioned about the holes in it, so let's just make it that. I was saying you don't automatically think of Subway when you hear 6 inches. Well, someone's been hit by the advertisements. As an action, Atlas can animate. As an action, either immediately after casting this spell or on a subsequent turn, Atlas can animate the wall into a rolling boulder. The boulder moves away from Atlas. Moves directly away. Thank you. Directly away from Atlas. Up to 60 feet. So we say, no, 60 feet? Yeah, 60 feet. Crushing anything in its path. Creatures in the path must make a dexterity saving throw. DC, did we figure it out yet? I didn't update it yet, but it's supposed to be a 14. Yeah. Let's make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, they take some amount of bludgeoning damage. I'll figure out how much in a moment. And are knocked prone. Speaking of, Atlas can damage himself if he's explosion radius of petrified boulder. Only self-damage in the game right now. Oh, damn. I mean, it's not the only self-damage. Combat discipline. And you got Garuda's ability. There are others. In terms of an ability that's supposed to damage enemies that also damages you, you might be right there, Raynova. Things that are supposed to hurt enemies also hurting you. Anyway, so let's review this. Bonus action. Oh, I need a duration on that. Bonus action. Atlas draws up rock from the ground to create a barrier in front of itself. The rock wall has a height of 5 foot, width 10 foot, thickness 6 inches. The wall provides total cover for Atlas, while Atlas can still perceive beyond it without issue. As an action, either immediately after casting a spell or on a subsequent turn, Atlas can animate the wall into a rolling boulder. The boulder moves directly away from Atlas for up to 60 foot, crushing anything in its path. Creatures in the path must make a dexterity saving throw, DC 14. On a failed save, they take some bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone. I feel I'm missing some bits here. Hit points. The wall has AC 15. Let's give it fewer hit points. 100 hit points. And provides total cover for Atlas, while Atlas can still see beyond it without issue. Take out the comma there. Oh god, that is so close to the end of the page. Ah! Yikes, that's taken up a lot of space. Will the boulder go boom when it hits wall at higher grade of Atlas? I'm not sure, because I haven't really got the space to add much more at this point, have I? I don't even have the space to upgrade Landslide. You know what? I'm probably going to need a double spread for Atlas Adept, aren't I? To be able to fit this stuff in, I'm going to need a double spread. Yeah. Because I haven't upgraded Landslide. I want to do more with Tectonic still. And I haven't even updated the lower section yet. I'm going to need a double spread. Darn it. Alright. I'll take out this page. There we go. I'll leave this as a space to put an Atlas picture or maybe some suggested encounters. That's where that can go. Turn this into a double spread. And now we've got loads of space to work with. Lovely. So it goes up to 60 feet, crushing anything in its path. The boulder stops short if it strikes an object. No. Let's put this here. Creatures in the path must make it. Objects in the path take the damage automatically if the object survives the damage. The boulder is destroyed. Now, if the object survives damage, or if the boulder has reached its 60-foot limit, the boulder is destroyed. There we go. Every time there's space problems, you think of what Equinox is going to be like. I think with Equinox, what I'm going to end up doing, Ladybug, is having 2 stat blocks. I might go for stat block for day and night. And so when they change, you're supposed to look at the stats on the other one. I think that could be more interesting, if nothing else. Because that can include then additional features, a change in the armor class, a change in the speed stat, a change in the strength, dexterity, all that lot. Literally transforming into something else. Equinox, day Equinox Initiate, day Equinox Adept, and then night Equinox Initiate, night Equinox Adept, so on. Do we give Atlas Tremor Sense? At the higher levels, yes. Not at the Adepts. Adepts is meant to be still pretty relatively standard. As much as the challenge rating 10, I don't want them too crazy. It should be cool, Ladybug, yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. It should be cool to handle. Just gotta make sure I do it correctly. Which could be the fun bit. Could definitely be the fun bit. Okay, so let's triple check on this. Atlas draws up the rock wall. Rock wall has these stats with AC and hit points, provides total cover, but Atlas can look through it. And that basically just allows Atlas to see things whilst also hiding. That's the idea there. As an action, either now or later, Atlas can animate the wall and just send it rolling away. Directly away, so Atlas has to position itself to be able to send the rock wall that way. Crushing anything in its path. Creatures in the path must make a save. On a failed save, they take damage and are not prone. Objects, well, they can't be not prone, they're objects. They take the damage automatically. If the object survives the damage, then the boulder's not got through it. If the object is destroyed, the boulder's going to keep going. So if the object survives, or if the boulder's reached its limit, the boulder is destroyed. And the spell ends. Boom. I think that covers tectonics. Let me see. I might want to put this onto a new line. As an action, if I put... Ooh, last. There we go. Okay, yeah, I wanted the gap there. That was the formatting needed. So we got the main wall is summoned, and then separately as an action. Continue onwards. Action, should that be capitalized? I think it should be. Yeah, I think that should be capitalized to say as an action specifically. Cool. Right then, landslide needs to be improved. Immediately after the attack. After making this attack, after the initial attack, there. And explosion. Atlas may use a bonus action. No. On this, I should say on the same turn. On the same turn, Atlas may use a bonus action to repeat this charge and attack against a creature within 15 feet. Against the same or a different creature within 15 feet. Yeah, landslide. Got the ability to then do it again, and I'll figure out numbers on all this lot in just a moment because we want to figure out where this all comes to. One per short rest, landslide, and then tectonics, which isn't, I'll be honest, it doesn't feel as strong as Wall of Stone at all. Like, it's more versatile, but those strengths are just not there. So I'm only going to make it 4th level. I'm only going to make it 4th level. The landslide, however, I'm making more powerful, so I'm going to upgrade that to 3rd level. This is, again, only for counterspell and spell identification purposes. Right, so, let's see, stats-wise. Oh, and the strength on this has gone up as well, hasn't it? Let's figure that all out as well whilst we're here. Plus 8 to hit. Damage. Plus 4. So that's going to be an 8. I'll figure out more if I want to change that in a moment. So we're at challenge rating 10. We're looking for slightly weaker because we got more tank. We want less gank. So I'm aiming for around about the 40 damage mark. That sounds about right. 40 damage per turn. Across 3 turns, it's about 120. So let's try and aim for around about that. So 40 is quite a bit of damage to work through here. 40 is really quite a bit of damage. With the landslide, we've got 19, followed by 19, and 3 and 3. So actually that just repeating in itself is doing a lot of the work there. What I could do is increase the attack damage. So the damage on hit for the second strike increases to 40-12, which should be 26 average. And the explosion to 7 2d6. One saying, and if someone decides to let the players pick up Warframe abilities as spells, may or may not be planning to do this. I highly recommend against that, unless you want to allow your game to just break Wolvens. I highly recommend against that. I have made it in this starting point. Ancient Warriors. As their teachers gone, such skills are nigh impossible to learn now. This is actually kind of intentional. I'm calling out to DMs with this bit here. Really think about it. Maybe don't give this to your players. Because as much as I'm assigning spell levels, I'm assigning them mostly on the basis that that is what you are countering, not necessarily these are the levels players should be using them at. I can't guarantee that your game will work if you do that. I can't. Brother saying there's something in the opening blurb for that. Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, cool. So, let's see. So the landslide on this, we're assuming that Atlas is going to start with a landslide, is able to land the main hit, plus the bonus damage on hit on the target plus 1. So 19 plus 6 for 25 opener, and then does it again. 26, that's 51. 2 dots to 7, 51, 58, 65. Okay, 65 our starting point. 65 where we get turn 1. And that is using up of our budget of 120. That's leaving us with 55 damage left to deal over the course of the turns. 55. Now, Tectonic's taking a bonus and action. That's going to be limited as well. It's a line attack, so we can look into that in a moment. And the fist on the final attack is going to do 16. But 55 minus 16, 55, 45, 39. And we can assume the line attack will hit 2. So we're aiming for about 20 damage on the line attack. I think that would work for balancing out the damage where we need it to be. About 20. Again, the 3d12. I could just go with 3d12 again. Keep the d12s rolling. d12s do not get enough love in D&D. So, yeah, 3d12. Tectonics. That. On a failed save, they take 19, which is brackets 3d12, bludgeoning damage, and are knocked prone. And the knocked prone bringing up the riders on that as well. And I think that actually covers it. That balances it. You start with the landslide, that's huge. Then we've got the tectonics, you've got the wall, and if he wants to keep the wall, he can keep the wall. If he doesn't want to keep the wall, he can send it on its way. And he's still got his punchy punchies. Yeah. That lands us where we want it to be in terms of the amount of damage output. Obviously, I never run serious things like having the ability to let my players go ham. I mean, fair, okay. If you want to let your players go ham, let your players go ham. You might need to change the spell levels. I'll leave that up to you to determine what spell levels are going to be for the players. You could argue if you say, oh, I know it's a 4th level for the Atlas, but you're not a Warframe. You don't have the same power generation. So for you, it's a 5th level spell. If you need to rehash the spells to different levels, you go ahead and do that. If you really want to hand them over to your players. But fair warning, copy-paste, probably not going to be balanced. These are designed as monsters. Xmas logic? I don't get the logic there, but fair enough. Right, so, I think this should be good. Let me check over all the bits and pieces now. So, from the top, we got the armor class of 19. This guy is a tough boy. Like, 19 AC is nothing to sniff at any level. That's quite a lot to get through. If you have... What's a typical attack bonus? It's level 10. A proficiency 4, you'd have your stats. By that point, you've had 2... What do you call it? ASIs. So your main stat could be up to 20. Might be more likely 18 with feats as an option. You might have a +8, +9 to hit. So that's giving you around about a 50% hit chance. That's actually a bit rough. 50% hit chance is considered low. Typically, you'd aim for around 65% hit chance. So that makes it where this is definitely tank. Like, tank. The saving throws, nothing too crazy going on there. I'm not going to give him loads of saves. If anything, having the weakness in a dex save is kind of a way to defeat Atlas, and that's also where Tectonics comes in. Hey, look at that, I've created natural synergy. Raised wall barrier, now you can't hit them with spells as easily, and less fireball, because fireball is overpowered. Atlas is getting resistance to fire damage at the prime, yeah. The rock is resisting fire, that's happening. Has there been any consideration we'll have Rumblers, Titanic Rumbler, or Rumbled? Or one or two? Okay, I've not really considered that so far, because we're not on the primers yet, Radio, but let's have a look. Remind me of those two in particular, because I really do not use a lot of Atlas. Rumbled is where Atlas transforms into Rumbler. Titanic Rumbler modifies Rumblers to make one Rumbler with more health and damage. I want to occasionally increase its threat level. I think I'd go for just making a single Rumbler. We don't need to follow all the deets on this. No, sorry, not a single Rumbler. No, sorry, no. I was thinking else in my head there. No, I'm going to go with the 2 Rumblers. For a simple reason on that. Action economy. By creating multiple Rumblers that Atlas is controlling, we're going to have more options for Atlas to actually get stuff done, and I can spread out the damage across players more rather than one single target all the time. So because of action economy, general spacing that Atlas is going to struggle with otherwise at that level, I think in having the 2 Rumblers should still help out. So Rumble turning Atlas into a Rumbler takes that away. Titanic Rumbler takes that away. I will skip both of those ones. Also, I'm definitely skipping All Gaze Augment. We're not using that one. We're not using that one. Frankly, I'm just going to skip the Eloquence altogether on this. Just going to skip those. Okay, so yeah, checking over the bits and pieces. We got all the stats there. We got the animal handling because pet rocks. We got the bullet jump. We got the rock and stone bonus for the D8. Do we stick with the D8? Yeah, stick with the D8 for now. I can upgrade it on later ones. Landslide is updated with the bonus action to do a second attack, which Alice is going to love if we want to do. Well, the Tectonic spell with its bonus action to cast, action to do a follow-up. Seeing a kind of a pattern there. Got the innate spellcasting. Oh, the stats on that are wrong. Innate spellcasting DC is now 14. No. Yeah? No. Yeah. Yes, it is. And the spell attack bonus is a +6. Not that there's any attacks going on, I don't think. Yes, there is. I didn't update it. There we go. See, this is why we check these things. Okay, cool. So that's DC 11. Yep, you're right. I missed that one as well. Thank you very much. I forgot to put the DC there. If I could use my editor to highlight DCs, that'd be great, but it's not smart enough for that. Oh, you're on a break now. Fair enough, Rainuva. Fair do. Cheers for the hydrate. Oh, I really needed that one. I'm just speaking a lot here. Takes a lot more talking to carry a stream where we haven't got a game going on in the background. Right then. I'm satisfied with this. Like, Atlas runs out of steam quickly. Once you've got past the initial 2 casts of spells, all Atlas has left is just tank and punch. By that point, they're doing 16 damage per round. 16 damage per round is laughable. That is challenge rating 2 at that point. Atlas is not terrifying at all for a challenge rating 10. Like, if anything, now that I'm saying it out loud, I feel like that's gone wrong. I've Chrome search. No, it's not searching, I want highlighting. Different. But, I know the numbers came out correctly there at first, but now I look at this, it doesn't survive past turn 3. After turn 3, it's just muted. Is that what we really want? You know what? Sod it. Sod it. Rock and Stone, D10. Barely makes the difference, I'll be quite honest, but it gives just that little bit more damage. It's still pathetic, but it's just a teeny tiny bit more. I can upgrade it to 3 attacks on the next one anyway. You reckon just add on another damage dice, 2d8? Oh, that'd be quite the jump. Because that'd be 9 plus 3. Yeah, 9 plus 3. No, sorry, 9 plus 4. Which is 13. That's 26. 26 per round on the fist there. On top of the other stuff they can do. Might push it over the edge, I'll be honest. I mean, yeah, put the damage more up here rather than there. But we've got these more powerful stuff in the process. We got the Landslide, which is opening up pretty damn strong. We've got the 19 hit and the explosion, the 3 plus 3, assuming a nearby target. So that's 25, followed by this, 51, followed by that, 65. That spell there, Landslide, is 65 total damage. For someone who's meant to be a tank, 65 is quite a bit at this challenge rating. That's a big opener right there. It's putting us challenge 13 equivalent when we were aiming for like the 40. That's a huge opener. We then got Tectonics. It can provide total cover for starters. And second, follow up with this. I haven't given him any range attacks. That's what I'm missing. He needs ranged attacks. Rock throw. Because screw weapons. He's Atlas. He throws rocks. Ranged weapon attack. Now it's rock throw. Should I still be using strength on this? I'd only be weapons with a thrown thing. So no, I'm gonna go with the dex on this. So that is gonna be +5 to hit. It is lower. Range. It's only a shot put, so only 20-40 foot. Do I put 20-40 foot? Is that how we do this? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Javelin usually strength has to do attacks, but yeah, but they have What's it? They have a specific thrown property. I want to go with the rock throw for Atlas, because Atlas rocks. Like, rocks! Right? I know it's a Warframe, but rocks! Come on! The mountain has got to throw rocks. Alright, plus 5 to hit. Range 2040. 2040? No, 2060. Give it a little bit more. Long range. And it is one... Oops. Comma, one target. Hit. For this one, we'll go with, again, the 1d10. But 1d10 plus 1, so that's going to be 6. Bludgeoning damage. He throws a pet rock at you. He throws the pet rock at you, yes! He grabs a rock. I like... Here, this one's called Dwayne. Chucks it at you, something like that. I don't know. He's a bit of a meathead. He's not very charismatic, but he's still going to hit you on the head with it. Yeah. Pet rock attack. Rock throw. Here it comes. 1d10 plus 1. Increases its unarmed damage dice. We don't need to talk about the rock throw damage dice. It's just 1d10. It's just a thing. We just make it that way. Every rock Atlas throws is uniquely named. Well, obviously. Because Atlas has both animal handling and nature. So if every rock has a name, Atlas knows it. Atlas just knows it. And once we get to the prime, Atlas speaks it. If he kills with a rock, he cheers it on. Of course he does. Of course. It's an Atlas. He loves it. Right, so that gives a range attack. So we've got the bits and pieces there. So Atlas can make more use of tectonics now as protection. And then follow up with the range attacks to deal with stuff if enemies aren't closing the distance. It still feels weak. I'll be honest, it still feels weak. It's got the damage theoretically with the landslide. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. And I don't want to make landslide. I can't make landslide anymore. That would be ridiculous. Tectonics is great if it works. If it works. Atlas have kind of resistances, making more tanky. Atlas will be getting resistances at the prime. All primes have resistances. I'll be giving Atlas resistance, I think, to physical as well as fire. But yeah, the AC is already 19. Like, typical for this challenge rating is 16. To have AC more than a couple points up, it's quite significant. Like, it says plus or minus up to 3 based on monster concepts. We've taken this right to the limit. This is a typical defense of a challenge rating 18. Granted, the hit points aren't quite there. So Atlas is tough to hit. Multi-attack should mention rocks. Ah, yes. Let's make 2 attacks with its fist or rock throw. Thank you. And of course, I'm going to have a picture here of Atlas. This is where I can have sections for suggesting encounters and whatnot, so that'll be fine. That gap is not too much of an issue. We might even put the boulder. Yeah, I could have the tectonics ability in action there. The boulder rolling, that could fill up that spot. That'll do. That should do. I suppose being a tank, he's supposed to look a bit weak. Yeah. What if rock throw can be from any angle given terrain? Any angle? Rainover, I think you're thinking of a more complicated system again. Rock throw is just rock throw. Just to say, honestly, Atlas is dangerous from its tankiness and staying power, not its damage. Also, Faction may well fell a piece or two in the first few rounds, keeping things balanced. It may fell a piece or two in the first round, you're right there. You say about the tankiness and staying power, it's got the tankiness, the staying power. The problem with staying power is no good if your damage isn't there then, because you're staying and doing nothing. That's where my concern is, that he's got 19 damage per turn with the fists, which is challenge 3 on a challenge 10 creature. But we got the heavy attack to start with, we've got the landslides followed up with tectonics. Tectonics can deal 19 twice over, so that is 38. Even that's on the weaker side, it's mid-ground. So we start high, then we get mid, and then we go low, and then it stays low. How about second castle landslide? Oh no, that'd be too much. Second castle landslide would be kind of prying territory. I think it's one of those that needs playtesting. I think he might be okay just left as is because of the sheer tank. Like, if your players roll badly, or if your players don't target that deck save, then they're going to struggle. Because Atlas will just keep on living, keep on punching. So that would work in his favour there. If the players don't roll badly, then they'll just steamroll him. Whereas other frames, the ones I've done so far, don't have the same tanks, they do get kind of steamrolled anyway. So it needs playtesting. I'm not going to overthink this any further. I'm going to leave that one where it is. I feel like it might be underpowered for its challenge rating. It might be worth more of a 9 than a 10, despite what I've put together. But I'm happy to leave it where it is and see what happens. I'm happy to leave it where it is. If I need to change the stats later, I can change the stats later. Perfect is the enemy of done here. So let's get on to the Ash Master. Let's start building that one now. Is there a list of what's been done so far? I mean, I can give you a very quick rundown. The document's available over on the Discord. So far, we got the intro. We've got Excalibur, all 4 tiers. We got Mag, all 4 tiers. We got Vault, all 4 tiers. We've got Ash, all 4 tiers. I've been doing some work. And now we've got Atlas going on. Ash Prime wasn't done last stream. It was done on this stream, so it won't be in the document as yet. Hello, Eddie. EDM? Yeah, we can get some EDM going for you. Let me just find that real quickly. EDM, there it is. You and your EDM. It's like clockwork. Right then, so Atlas Master. Started with the stats. Atlas Master, I'm going to aim for about challenge rating 15. That's my aim here. Believe see Rhino? Rhino's going to be a while. So, 15. Challenge rating 15 is suggesting a basic tank starting point of 18,225. I'm going to push the AC to 21. I know, I'm a monster. So, 21, and the hit points, I'm going to push up. Honestly, I'm going to push them up a chunk. I'm going to make Atlas Master tanky. So, 21,255 is my aim here. 21,255. This is going to be a guy that just does not move. Or rather, does not move when you time to. I think I just minimized everything on your screen there. Sorry about that. Alright, so for the Master, we want +5 more on the stats across everything here. So let's get that going now. Strength, let's take that up to a +5. There we go. Dexterity for a +2. Constitution, that is obviously going to be a +5 as well. Intelligence, 16 for a +3, and Wisdom, 14 for a +2. Charisma just doesn't move. Okay, with that in mind, we now know that the D8 plus X is going to be D8 plus 5, so that's going to be 9.5. 255 divided by 9.5 is 26.8, so 27. Let's go for 27 of those. 27, lots of 9.5s, it's 256. Oh, so close. So close. 27D, and that would be 135. Cool. Grubpant's saying, can you make him immune to force moon effects in the prone condition? Oh, in fact, yeah, you're right. At this point, I should introduce the prone immunity now because of his passive. I don't want to add it on. Do I add it to adept? No, let's add it at adept level. I've already said the adept might be too weak, so you're very right. Let's start. Oh, wrong section. Let's start adding it now. It comes after skills. Condition immunity. Immunities. Prone. Just straight away. Condition immunities, prone. Right at the adept tier. I'm not going to put it on the initiate, that's fine. But on the adept, yeah, immune to prone. And then Atlas Master. Let's add on that. Do the same again here under skills. I'm actually going to add in the fire resistance here as well. Force movement. Oh, I'm not sure on the force movement, but I can add in the fire immunity here. So condition, immunities, prone, damage, resistance, fire. I know I've done the resistances on the primes only on the other ones, but Atlas is supposed to be such a tank that putting that damage resistance to fire now, I think is going to be fair. To just really drive home the tank. Especially if the players have gotten used to targeting deck saves with fireballs, they'll do that. They'll be like, ah ha ha, Atlas, he's weak on his deck saves. Fireball! Why did that do nothing? Well, not nothing, but yeah. It's still immune to the Brones. To quote another creator, less time spent on your butt is a huge damage increase. That is very true. I don't know which creator said that, but they're very right. They are very right. And this will also help with the fact that I'm not buffing up Atlas's speeds. That is good for him. That is good for him. Alright, cool. So, that's going to be positive for us already. What was that? 30s American accent? 30s American accent? Accent? Whose accent? I mean, I'm the only one speaking here, but there we are. Alrighty. Nightmare Frame coined that? Of course it's Nightmare Frame. Of course it was. He's an interesting fella. Bit of a Marmite, I'd say. Alright. So, let's figure out on these stats. We got the changes there. Bullet jump, we can increase that again. So that is now 5, 8, 16, and 40-foot horizontal. Went almost full skeletal with the fireball example. Oh, fair enough. I'll be honest. For me, the voices, when I'm putting a voice that's meant to represent not what I'm saying, but what something else is saying or someone else is saying, the tone of voice, the character, it just changes because it's them now. It's not me, it's them. Is his weight listed anywhere? You don't need weight stats in Dungeons & Dragons, no. It just doesn't matter. The DM can create a weight if it matters, but in basically every game, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we got that. Living Mountain increases thingy bajiggies. Yep, we'll just leave that for now. I could just change damage dice to do. No, I'll just leave it as is. Don't need to make it any confusing. Landslide. Right, well, what makes Landslide go further? Tries to attack. So, on the same turn, Atlas may use a bonus action to repeat this charge and attack 2 more times. Against the same, against the same or a different creature within 15 feet each time. The damage on hit for the second strike increases to that. The damage on hit for the third strike increases to 5d12, which would be another 6 on top, 32. 5d12, and the explosion to 10, 3d6. Because we're just going to make it even more dangerous, which is lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Addy with the hydrate. Cheers. Grandpa's saying if he is making really heavy so Grappler can't drag him around. I mean, if Grappler wants to drag him around, the Grappler can start dragging him around, and then Atlas just going to be like, oh, are we going somewhere, are we? Punch, 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 punch. On top of the fact that Landslide doesn't use Atlas's movement. So Atlas can landslide and move. I'm fine. If someone wants to grapple Atlas, they can't knock him prone, remember? There's no shoving prone on this one. They're just going to grab hold of him like, haha, I've got you now. Atlas like, I guess I'm focusing on you then. Bump, 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 bump. Just knocks you into the ground like a fence post. What are you going to do? Atlas wants to be in melee range. Come at me. Grapple me. It doesn't end well for anyone trying to do that. But if they want to grapple him, go ahead. Sure, chuck him into that pool of fire. That will kill him. Yeah. Absolutely no way that he's going to handle that one. Alright, let's see what we got then. So, stats all across here need to be updated. DC, proficiency bonus, I didn't update that. What is that proficiency bonus? Proficiency, no, I can't spell. Proficiency bonus 5e, thank you. That's the table I wanted. 15 plus 5, thank you. Don't know if that's correct or not, I should probably check that. Actually, it doesn't fit. 5, 9, 13. Oh yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Let's update all these stats. You are a plus 10. We should also have a secondary stat. A boxer has good reflexes. So I could go for dex save. But then I could also go for good awareness of what's going on. So go for a whiz save. Yeah, Atlas the Unshakable. Whiz save. You can't cloud his mind with stuff. He's too on it. Too focused. I'm going for the whiz save. Because dex save, I feel like I'm taking away a weakness he's supposed to have. So, whiz. Which will be a plus 7. Skills, we said this time. After animal handling. Athletics. History. And that is going to be int 3, 5 plus 8. On top of the nature plus 8. The athletics is a plus 10. And the animal handling, wisdom base 2, 5 plus 7. Not plus 7, it's just 7. Passive perception has increased to a 12. There we go. Has increased these other stats across here. Plus 6 to hit. That int is 3, 5, 8. DC is 16. Here, no change on that lot. That DC 16. DC 16. All these numbers. If only I had a program to do it for me. Plus 8. Fist plus 8 is now a plus 10 to hit. Damage, add on a 5. So that is a 10. This is not a 5 but a 7 to hit. Ranged is fine for now. We'll figure out if I need to change it. That becomes a 7 because Dex has gone up to 2. There we are. Alright. Con save? I feel like con save would also be a little bit too on the nose for just a little bit over tank on that. I'm leaving vulnerability, so con, it's strong, but it's not super strong. But I'm instead patching up the wisdom side of things. Give him more of the focus. His constitution is much more poisons and the like, which Atlas can handle though. I want to worry about the whiz saves, I'll be honest. I do want to worry about those on this one. Wonder if Atlas takes his knockdown immunity for granted. For granted. Oh, Alright. Well, I'm reminding you guys of the rule against bad jokes. If you're not a subscriber and you come out with a bad joke about rocks and whatnot again, I'm just going to time you out. If you ain't a sub or VIP, I'm timing you out. It's too much. It's too much. Alright then. And yes, it is absolutely paywalling it. I don't care. I don't care. Alright, let's make some other abilities. This is Mastery. Supposed to have his third ability. It's Petrify. Oh, that's going to be fun. Petrify is absolutely fun. Now, for most of the other abilities so far, I've gone with, I don't want to stun players. I don't want to take away their ability to play the game. I don't want to be ruining their days. Addy, I see that. With Petrify, I do. With Petrify, I do. I'm going to make it where if you get hit by that, you ask the DM, wait, really? And the DM goes, yeah. Deal with it, bitch. That's exactly what's going to be happening here. So, Petrify. I'm actually going to take this from... what are they called? Basilisks. One sec. Because basilisks have a good example for me to work with. Can we have some sort of geology fun fact to balance out the bad jokes? That's Ladybug. Some kind of geology fun fact. Okay. Let's use the topic of climate change for a fun fact. Fun fact, we are very, very, very far from the first species to have done climate change on this scale. In fact, there is a species which has us completely beat. I'm not talking about volcanoes, I'm not talking about asteroids, I'm not talking about continental positions like Pangaea leading to all kinds of crazy stuff, I'm not talking about snowball Earth. There is a species, or a group of species potentially, but at least a species, a group of creatures, which absolutely, and to this day unchanged, undefeated change, they completely changed the atmosphere of the whole planet. And not only did they do that, they completely changed the composition of the seas and created one of the biggest rock formations, one of the most important rock formations found around the entire world. Saying grass? Nope, grass is very new. Grass is very new. Dinosaurs never saw grass. Plankton? Nope. Algae? Nope. Coral? Nope. All of those are far too new in comparison. Grass is the newest of them. All those are far too new. Aliens? No. Definitely here. Definitely here. We're going back to cyanobacteria. We're going back to cyanobacteria. Because these things, and I don't know if they're actually cyan coloured, cyanobacteria, Jason's on it, they are ancient. These are pre-animals of any sort whatsoever, because the animals of any sort whatsoever couldn't establish themselves. The world was not ready for it. The world was in a very, very early stage. This might be Hadean period, could be before that, I'm not sure entirely. Somewhere very far back. We're at the point where there was not oxygen freely found in the atmosphere. We're at the point where the seas were full of basically toxic iron. And copper, but mostly iron. That's the big thing. What these cyanobacteria did, is they converted carbon dioxide into oxygen. And a hell of a lot of it. They had time to work on it. Now first, that oxygen, because they were in the seas, that oxygen was combining with the iron, creating that rusty iron bands that we see in huge banded iron formations, and that was settling to the bottom of these seas. And more iron settled, and more iron settled, and more iron settled, iron oxide, this ferrous material, until all of that was cleaned out. This cyanobacteria completely changed the oceans. And then they didn't stop. They were still producing oxygen, they were still living. So now the oxygen, rather than going into the oceans and mixing with the iron wasn't there, the oxygen escaped into the atmosphere, and they kept producing and kept producing and kept producing. The air you breathe today, granted not exactly created by them, it's gone through the life cycle bajillions of times since, the air you breathe today, the oxygen content we have, was initially kick-started by bacteria ages in the past, aeons in the past. They completely scrubbed the seas, created huge bands of iron, which we have mined and continue to mine to this day, and created the atmosphere that we love. So yeah, there's your fun fact for you. As much as climate change is definitely a problem on Earth, and that's maybe not so fun fact right now, we ain't the first. We ain't the first species to do something on this scale. There is one that has us completely and utterly beat, and if we could do our very best to not break that record, that'd be lovely. That'd be absolutely lovely. Alright then, so, we're looking next at Petrify. Absolutely looking on to Petrify next. Let's see. So, I'm going to bring up a Basilisk from my monster manual, as that's going to be a very good starting point. So a Basilisk, very differently imagined in Dungeons & Dragons. They have a Basilisk, rather than big old snake that you come across in Harry Potter or something. If I just grab my screens here correctly to make sure I'm showing you this correctly. This is how they show it in Dungeons & Dragons. That is supposedly a basilisk. Go figure. Yeah, go figure. So, sure. But the main thing is, I'm looking at its petrifying gaze. The creature starts its turn within such and such. Two of them can see each other. They make a con save. On a failed save, the creature magically begins turning to stone and is restrained. So con save, if fail, restrained. Repeat the save on the end of its next turn. On a success, effect ends. On a failure, it's petrified until greater restoration or other magic. Cool. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with that one. I want Atlas. Atlas with all the punching and whatnot, not that terrifying. The landslide kind of punches, but then it's once and done. Tectonics, okay, makes a wall and sends it in a line. Okay, whatever. Well, you just destroyed the furniture. We dodged out the way. And then Atlas just goes, blah. And that's where things get terrifying. We decide to give it legs since so many of them. Yeah, it's got 4 legs on one side. We can assume 4 legs on the other side. So that means it's got 8 legs, so it's technically a spider. Who isn't petrified by spiders? That was terrible. I'm sorry. That was stupid. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that one. Moving swiftly on. Jason, suggestion, if you want to make Atlas's abilities more difficult to resist, you can make the exception here to base its spellcasting on its con mod instead. That might be too much though. Yeah, no, I don't want to make it harder to resist specifically. The lack of a high intelligence stats, and it's still got 16, like it's not low. But the lack of really high intelligence stats is fine for me here. That's just absolutely fine for me here. Probably noticing 3.5, there was a race of blind giants that kept basilisks as guard dogs. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, that's... I've never used that before. I should use that. I should use that. Could you imagine, like, a bunch of creatures with tremor sense only? Ooh. That's going to be Atlas's pet. Of course. I've got Mag using a flame skull. I've got Excalibur using wolves or direwolves. Atlas is going to have pet basilisks. Atlas... with his tremor sense. You know what? I'm giving. Do I give him tremor sense at this point as well? Might be a bit much. Might be a bit much. Give it to the Prime. We'll give Basilisk to the Prime because they are challenge 3. A challenge 3 plus a challenge 15. No, it's okay. No, okay. I'm giving him tremor sense now. Fuck it. He's a tank. His damage isn't scary. It's his control that's scary. Tank and control. That's what's making him scary. Tremor sense. Done. Senses. Tremor sense to... And we don't need to give him loads, actually. To keep it manageable, I'm only going to give him 30 foot at this level. I'll increase that on the Prime. There we go. Challenge 15 on the Prime. Oh, no, Jason. Challenge 20 on the Prime. The Prime's going to be CR20. That's where it's going to get crazy good. Basilisk could replace Rumblers. No. I'm going to say no on that. Reason being, a DM can introduce or remove Basilisks as part of the encounter to add or remove more petrification. However... if I make it just part of the ability, then it's just part of the Prime. If the DM doesn't want that much petrification, having just a single ability on the Prime limits that. And then they can introduce other companions to the Atlas Prime instead. So, replacing the Rumblers with Basilisk kind of stats, I am going to pass on that one. Thinking of giving DMs a fairer baseline to work from. As much as I'm being mean with using Petrify for Petrify here, there's a limit to how far you want to take it. So, spell 1 action. And I'm not going to give a duration on this. If you get Petrified, you get Petrified. Deal with it. It's challenge rating 15. Get good or get gone. Go find a cleric. Atlas channels the essence of the Earth Yeah. Atlas channels the essence of the Earth into nearby enemies. Enemies. Atlas chooses any number of creatures in a 60-foot cone. Each of which must make a Constitution saving throw. Throw, there we go. And DC is, did we update the DC 16? Is that correct at this point? That's not correct. I'm going to have to update that. Damn it. Did I just not update those numbers yet? 14, 16, is that right? Oh wait, no, that is right. Yeah, that is right. Never mind. I did update numbers. I thought I had. It just felt low. Never mind. Yeah, DC 16, that's fine. Each of which must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature begins to turn to stone and is restrained. At the end of... No. At the start of Atlas's next turn, because it's on Atlas's turn that it started, at the start of Atlas's next turn, all affected creatures must repeat the saving throw. On a failure, they turn to stone. Does it just say they turn to stone? On a failure? No. On a failure, the creature becomes petrified. I'm copying from the basilisk here for this one. Creature is petrified until freed by the Greater Restoration spell or other magic. Strangely enough, it puts the success condition first. Okay, well, I'll do that then. On a success, the spell effect ends on the creature. And this should be in italics. Cool, right then. Like I said, there does exist in the Unearthed Arcana of Greater Basilisk if you really need to step up the encounter even further. Oh god, that sounds horrible. That is, yeah. And yes, Addy, basic puns that aren't even relevant, I'm just skipping past now. Come on now. As I'm saying, I'm glad I play in settings where if your party can't cast Greater Restoration, you can find someone to do it. Yeah, because if you don't, you're screwed. Save or die. How am I going to factor in Petrify's damage buff to the landslide and his armor buff? I'm not going to, Addy. That's how. Atlas already has a high armor at 21 armor class. He's tanking. Like, you can have full plate and a shield, and you'll have 20. Atlas is 21. Naturally. You can't disarm it, you can't heat metal it. Atlas just has 21. Like, good luck. Snake Arrow saying, you're much better at 5e writing than I am. I have to constantly refer to existing things when doing Pathfinder conversions. I mean, fair enough. I've already done quite a bit of this, and I've done this kind of thing for other stuff in the past, so I have an idea as to kind of what I'm making here. It's just experience, really. Even then, I'm still referring to the books for bits and pieces to kind of get an idea as to how I want to put bits together. So yeah, it's just a matter of time and experience. So let's make sure I am happy with this. Petrify. Atlas channels the essence of the earth into nearby enemies. Atlas chooses, that's S, chooses any number of creatures in a 60-foot cone, each of which must make a Constitution saving throw. Here's a DC. On a failed save, the creature begins to turn to stone and is restrained. At the start of Atlas's next turn, all affected creatures must repeat the saving throw. On a success, the spell effect ends the creature. On a failure, the creature is petrified until freed by Greater Restoration spell or other magic. I think that's absolutely perfect, as is. We don't need to do anything more with it. It's powerful, but not game-endingly powerful. I can just leave that where it is. Now, I have noticed a problem here. In the action economy, because that is a big action, and this is a big action. When we cast this action, we don't really have a lot left, so we do need to step up into legendary actions, and that's where I can make up Atlas's damage here. So, with the rest of it, let's just make sure all the other numbers are correct and up to date. I think I've already done those, actually, yeah. Those are all up to date. So, I can switch into doing the legendary actions here. Legendary actions. And for this, I'm going to start off by copying the legendary action section from Ash and then continuing. I just start there, scroll us down, get to the page with Atlas Master, and we'll pop it in. Now I'm not going to have hide, I'm going to have reposition, reposition. Atlas moves up to half its speed. There we are. That gives it a 15-foot movement for a legendary action. That's not a problem. Does Restrained give advantage on attacks? Yes. Let's just bring up Restrained for you real quickly. That's probably not going to work, is it? Nope, that didn't work. 5e Restrained. Conditions there, yeah. So Restrained, just to give you up on that, Restrained creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. So that's already a big problem. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. Big problem. And the creature's disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Very big problem. Now when you put that all together, we've got Landslide here with spell attack, so that's got advantage. We've got the Explosion with dexterity saving throws. They've got disadvantage on that. These kinds of things are definitely hitting. I'm actually going to upgrade Tectonics. One thing I've done so far is it's automatic on objects. If you're restrained, Tectonics should be an auto hit. These formatted tools, they're almost cheating. They're hours and hours doing layout and design. Someone's put together this. It's called the Home Brewery. So if you want to try this out for yourself, go right ahead. I'm actually using a slightly older version because I prefer the look of it, and also I started with it. But yeah, they've got an updated version which allows you even more power, frankly, but not stuff that I needed to switch to. Give it a try. Let's see with this. Yeah, so Tectonics. Objects. Oh, yeah. So, creatures in path must make a dexterity saving throw. I'm going to say restrained creatures automatically fail the saving throw. Turn 1 Petrify, turn 2 Smacky Smack with Landslide. That's kind of the idea here. So restrained creatures automatically fail the saving throw. Straight up. Oh, sorry. Was it DC 16 and you had disadvantage? No, you ain't got disadvantage. We're just going to straight up hit you with it. Get fecked. So that is a bit of forced synergy. We've got some natural synergy going on with Landslide because of the restrained condition, but Tectonics, that's some forced synergy right there. That is designed to be, once again, devastating. Alright, reposition. Atlas moves up to half its speed. Thank you on that one. Next one. Now, how much damage do I need to give here? Let's calculate that to decide what other legendary actions I want to use. Because that's going to be important. Let's figure this out then. We've got, on the cheat sheet here, for challenge 15, we want a bit lower than that. So we're looking for around about 60-65 damage per round. So about 180, 190. Let's say about 190 over the course of the turns. Petrify is going to achieve nothing damage-wise. Technically speaking, it's setting everything up for damage. So we won't count that right now, but it's something to be aware of. The follow-up Tectonics, we're assuming we're going to hit 2 creatures with it. On a failed save, 19 damage. That's going to be 38. Not a lot, so we might need to knock that up a bit. But we'll start with that, 38. And we've got the Landslide here. That one's actually the big damage. Yeah, Tectonics needs to go well up to compete with Landslide now. Because Landslide... Let's add this up. I'm going to need my calculator to keep track of this one. Landslide, you got 19 plus the 3 on the first hit. And then... Oh, sorry, it's plus 6 on the first hit, because it's 2 creatures, we assume. And then on the follow-up, we've got 26 plus 14. And then on the follow-up from that, we've got 32 plus 10. No, 20. Which brings us to 117 damage in a turn. Oh boy! That is a landslide right there. I just said we're aiming for about 190 damage across 3 turns. 117 just happened in 1 turn there. Okay, cool. That's fine. We don't need to do too much more with that then. Yeah. So follow that up with the Tectonics stuff here, doing 19 twice. We're assuming 38. We're 155. The final turn 3. No, that would be the turns. We've got action, bonus and action, action. So that's all 3 turns. Okay, so if I'm aiming for 190, I've got around about 35 damage left to spare there. So what I can do is I can give the fists a legendary action, but I'm going to make it 2 actions. So we can only use it once per round, as it were, but it's still an additional attack that can be made. So fist, 2 actions. Atlas makes an attack with its fist. And I'm just, you know what? Let's give it the rock throw as well. Rock throw. This one should also be 2 actions. If everything is out of range, Atlas can still do something. Atlas makes an attack with its rock throw. Which, for the legendary actions, they're not that legendary, but it is fine. We got a little bit of repositioning going on, and we've got the attacks available. Excuse me. And I think that should balance out quite nicely. Landslide is a powerful opener, or Atlas can open with Petrify and then Landslide. If Atlas finds themselves in difficulty, instead of landsliding, they can go for Tectonics to get that barrier up. And because it's a bonus action, they can still multi-attack. Yeah. I think this works out. This creates a good setup. I'm quite happy with this. Oh, the Ash bit needs to be changed to Atlas. There we are. Alright, chat, this is where you tell me what I'm missing. We've given him Tremor Sense and Prone and Fire Resistance, which is a lot more than other Warframes got at this stage here to really nail that tank approach. What more do we need to do? And I say, heading to New York at the moment, about to hop on the train. Hopefully I'll still have service to watch the stream. Well, stream's got loads left on it all the same, Addy, but fingers crossed for you on that one. Fingers crossed. We definitely not got time to jump onto the Atlas Prime at this stage, so... Let me put my book away. I think I've got over there. I mean, I could try and rush into Atlas Prime. What are we thinking, Jack? Oh, so I'm just gonna run for it. Let's sprint. Let's go full sprint. Atlas Prime. How quick can I do it? I'm gonna assume Atlas Master is done. Not look back to it. If I find an issue, I'll fix it. Atlas Prime. AC. Aim. 20 is 19, so make that 22. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be really evil. I'm going to make this 23. I'm going to be so cruel here by making it 23. Tank. I'm going to aim at about 330 hit points. We'll figure that out in a moment. 330. Stats should be going up by +1 across the board, I think is what I'm supposed to do here. +1 across the board. Yep. And you know what? I'm going to do just that. Strength +6. Dexterity is a +3. Constitution is a +6. Intelligence is a +4. Wisdom's +3. And Charisma doesn't go up as much as Ash's, but I'm still going to put it there to a 0. There we go. Saving throws. Strength, Wiz, we are going to add on the con. Plus, proficiency is going to be 6, that's going to be plus 12. Do proficiency now, so I remember about that. Challenge rating 20. I haven't done the XP, darn. Okay, let me do that before I forget. XP on the Ash Master, 13k, there we go. Can someone tell me what is the XP on challenge 20? Actually, I've got Google. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. 25,000. There we are. Ash Prime, 20,000. Alright, cool. Back to Atlas Prime. Let's do this amazingly. So, 20,000 on the XP. 30 is 4048. Is that with the combos? Sounds quite high for me. The D8 plus 6 is going to be 4.5 plus 6, 10.5. 330 divided by 10.5 comes out to 31 something. Jason's saying 330 divided by 7.5. Why are you dividing by 7.5? Yeah. A D8 is 4.5, so that would be plus 3, not plus 6. Not to worry. So I'm going to aim for 31 D8 plus the 31 times 6. 186. 31 times 10.5 is 325.5, so 325. There we go. Cool. I'm going to give him speed boost. Just 5 foot. Just a little bit more. Why not? Oh, you forgot the increased con. Yeah. Alright. Extra skill. One more skill on here. Well, animal handling, athletics, history, nature. Well, I'll list them. Give me a reminder here. Oh, perception. Yeah, I can go for perception. That'd be a good one. Yeah, I'll go perception. Why not just knock it out of the park? Perception comes after nature. And that's going to be a plus 9. There we go. Animal handling, which is wisdom base, is also going to be a plus 9 now. Athletics is a devastatingly high plus 12. History, that is based off intelligence, 4, 6, 10. Nature is also then going to be a 10. There we go. Condition immunity, prone and restrained. I have that on the primes. Damage resistance, fire. Non-magical bludgeoning. Ooh, that is how you spell it. Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Tremor sense, I've said I'll increase that to 60 foot at this tier. Passive perception is now a 19. There we go. Beautiful. Right. Did I add Terran? I did not. No. Common Terran. Thank you very much for reminding me of that one, Zom. Appreciate it. Intimidation. Who wants to fight the mountain? Intimidation or perception? Intimidation or perception? Intimidation. But they're not correct. Yeah, because otherwise with the tremor sense that might be a bit much. Intimidation. Which now needs to go elsewhere in the alphabetics. God damn it. H-I. There we are. Intimidation will be a plus 6. It's only a 13. There we go. Alright, cool. That's fair. That's fair. Once per turn, jumping goes up, I've run up, able to cover 3 times the distance, because it's a prime. Primes can do that. In my world. 6 plus 3 is 9, 27. 22 becomes 66. There we go. I'm just going to make this a d12. Just because I can. Spell save DC is now going to be 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 8, 18. And spell attack bonus is going to be the 10. I'll figure out all the spells in just a moment. Multi-tactics pieces. So that there is going to be a plus 12 to hit. One target, the d12 plus 6. The d12 base 6 plus 6 is 12. There we go. Range attack. I'm also going to buff that one up. So dex and Efficiency plus 9. Not going to increase the range, instead we're increasing the damage. Like so. So that is a 9. There we are. Your reception's still kicking? Nice. Oh, it's 25k XP. My bad. Thank you, Jason. It is definitely important to catch those minor corrections. Let's fix that now. Thank you. Okay, Atlas Prime, let's continue. Stats. So I've got the Rock Throw, got that updated onto there. We've got the damage stats updated. Multi-attack is going to handle fine. We'll figure out if I need 3 attacks or not later. Let's figure out all the attacks and saves. So plus 8 to hit is now a plus 10 to hit. Yeah, 4 plus 6 plus 10 to hit. There we go. DC is now 18. Over to here, that doesn't update. This has nothing to update. This one, DC 18. This one, DC 18. I love and dear saying this is an incredible project, Ken. Thanks for doing it. Where are you making this available for viewing? So this is available over on my Discord. If you're not already on the Discord, !Discord for the link to that. The document as it is currently published is available in the miscellaneous game section. So if I just show you here, you scroll down to Miss Games, you click onto Warframes as Dungeons and Dragons, and the updated document is at the very start of the thread. That's one updated with tier 3 on Ash. Later on in the week, I'll be updating it with what I've done here on stream today. So yeah, it's over there. This isn't for general release as yet because it's still very much an in-development project. Quite frankly, I don't really want to release this to the wider public, as it were, until I've gone through basically every Warframe. And I know that is months of work. But I don't want it out there incomplete, because then everyone and their dog is going to start filling in the gaps and saying, oh, well, what about this? Oh, here's my spin-off idea, yada, yada, yada. No. I want it to be one pure Kengineer delivery. Bam! Here it is. And then get all the responses that say it's shit. You know, because it will happen. Especially if you post it to Reddit. Oh god, that place. Horrible, horrible place. DCs, all up to date. There we go. Yep. Right then. Oh, I didn't put the spell on the master. What's wrong with me? Petrify. 6th level. I think 6th is fine for that power. Might be wrong, but I'll try it. Oh, and I improved the damage of landslides. That should be 5th level. Tectonics I didn't change? No, so yeah, we'll just leave it as 4th level. These are out of sync, but it's fine. They're out of sync, but it's fine. Okay. I'm going to say awesome, thanks. I'll be testing some of this concept on my players. Love it. Excellent. Give me the feedback on that. I want to see... I want to know how it goes. I really, really want to know how it goes, especially in terms of, you know, did it match the challenge rating? Did it feel right? Was it complicated? Was it too simple? I really need to know how it actually plays out in different games, in different groups. If you introduce them to your players without them even knowing their Warframes, that could be even more impressive. You just describe the creature, this hulking, massive amount of Atlas, or this a very slender, clearly agile humanoid, which is Ash. And you drop those out there. They don't pass the intelligence checks to identify what the things are. Next thing they know, Ash goes invisible and there's blades everywhere. I want to know what their reactions would be. Both mechanically and actually. It would be lovely. Does Petrify fall under innate spellcasting section 2? Yes, I added it just to the master. I haven't written it in the Prime yet, but yes, it does. I said that one was 6th level. There we go. Landslide was currently at 5th level at the last update. Right then, so let's think about our damage target here. This is challenge rating 20, but it's supposed to be on the weaker side of that. So I'm definitely aiming on the lower damage. This is a control creature, control and tank. So I'm going to be aiming actually around the 85 mark for the damage output here. The DC is also kind of comparable because the DCs are actually quite low. So that is fine. So we're aiming for, I just forgot what I said there. We're aiming for around about 85, which across 3 turns is 255. Is it just you who gets lightheaded when the train rocks? I don't know what trains are like over in the US. Trains in the UK are actually pretty damn smooth. Trains are my favourite form of transport, they really are. Let me do this. My crew are very experienced power gamers. Not going to get into the game comparison, just make them part of my world. Struggle finding decent challenges for them, it says, so experience and play in a larger group. These will challenge them. These will challenge. Love and Dear, I want to show this off to you. I don't know how much you know about Warframe, but Mag. Let's bring out the Mag Prime, Challenge 18. Okay? Mag Prime's magnetize ability. It's a concentration one, so that could be a bit of a problem for Mag, but otherwise should be handleable. Mag targets one creature it can see within 90 feet and infuses it with crushing magic energy, creating an aura of radius 15 feet centered on the target. Any creature hostile to Mag that starts its turn in this aura or enters on its turn must make a strength saving throw DC 19. On a failure, the creature is restrained until the start of its next turn. All range attacks which would pass within the aura will redirect to all target creatures hostile to Mag in the aura simultaneously. Roll the attacks for each creature separately. So already you've got your magnetized bubble there. It is meant to represent magnetize as we know it in Warframe. Not quite as powerful. It's not just sucking at everyone no matter what they try. We can assume that all Grineer keep failing their saves. But it's, if you're in the aura, you ain't moving. And every range attack is going to hit all of them. And then you've got Mag, or Mag's allies, firing those range attacks into the bubble. And of course, your players are thinking, okay, well, you put up some kind of aura around me, whatever. They draw their bow, they go to fire at Mag, they fire back. Their arrow has now just hit everyone in the bubble. And if that's not good enough, you then whip out Polarize on your next turn. Because it's another spell, so you have to do it next turn. Mag creates a wave of electrical energy, sundering the armor of its enemies. Mag choose? Oh, I need to fix that to chooses. Mag chooses any number of creatures it can see within 60 feet, and forces those creatures to make a dexterity saving throw. On failure, they take force damage. If they're wearing armor, or have the natural armor trait, they take more damage. And if they have armor, the creature's armor is cursed, reducing its AC by 2. If the affected creature is within a magnetized aura, i.e. this one right here, when hit, it causes electricity to arc within the aura. All creatures hostile to Mag in the aura must make a dex save or take further lightning damage. And yes, this can hit multiple times the multiple armored creatures in the aura. Addy's saying, wait, careful, we're supposed to represent magnetize as we know it, ... Yes, we'll give a moment on that. Anyway, let's get back to Atlas, because I am basically out of time and I still haven't made the Prime fully yet. Can arrow threading occurs? I'm not sure what you mean with arrow threading, but a single arrow fired into the bubble will hit everything that's inside the aura. It'll then be done. It doesn't continuously hit and hit and hit and hit and hit, but it will hit everyone. Everyone gets hit by ranged attacks. Ranged attacks, specifically. But yes, it can get kind of crazy. And if someone is locked in the aura, they better have something that's not a ranged attack. Yeah, the ranger, looking at their bow, they're going to be like, shit, what do I do now? And that's the idea. You're meant to be a bit scared. You're meant to be a bit scared at that level. Right. Ash Prime. That's the wrong one. Atlas Prime. God, I've made so many at this point, I don't scroll far enough. So Landslide, don't need to change so far. Landslide already, on the first turn we said add this all up. Actually, I might increase, I'm going to increase the explosion radius. I'm going to increase the explosion radius. It's just to 10 feet, but it's going to be, it's an important change at this stage. It is an important change. So, we've got a damage output there. 19 on the initial target. 6 on secondary hits. Then we've got the same happening, 26 plus 14 and 32 plus 20. Giving us a total of... Have I added this up correctly? Because I think I got a different number last time. It's saying 120. What did I do wrong? Ah, right, yes. I typed 17, not 14, because I'm an idiot. 117, there we go. That makes more sense. We've got 117 turn 1. And over 3 turns, I'm looking for 225. We have the legendary actions. If I take the legendary actions and make them 1 action, that might work. Well, I still need to figure out the Rumblers, actually. No, the Rumblers are going to do a lot first. Yeah, we got 117 there. We got the follow-up of the Tectonics, which I pitched at 38. And we got the legendary actions currently outputting... Let's assume we get a fist each time, so that's 36 across all legendary actions. That gives us 191. We're looking for 225. Rumblers can't actually add that much on. And there's a Windows update. Yes, I do. Focus on the main part of the screen. Damn it. Yeah. So we're already at 191 damage theoretical there. Granted, hitting that theoretical is going to be tough. Well, landslide not so much, but the rest of it, yeah. But we're already at that 191 theoretical, so I don't actually need to go too crazy on adding on more damage. So the Rumblers can be more distraction than anything else. Also, the Rumblers will be taking up spellcasting moments, because they'll be in action. They'll be taking the spell away. Yeah. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. I'm going to do Rumblers. I know that Rumblers, when you cast it as Atlas, they also have a Petrify effect close to Atlas, so I'm going to do that as well. Just to say, what, you want to come into melee range of Atlas, you moron? 1 action, and 1 minute is the duration, or until destroyed. Atlas infuses the ground with animation energy, causing 2 constructs of rock to burst from the ground. Two Rumblers. We'll go with medium size. Don't need to make them large. Medium size constructs. With AC only 17, AC 17, and 80 hit points a pop. Nothing too strong, but yeah. Animating energy? Yeah, that's right, yeah. With animating... Thank you. Animating energy, AC 17, 80 hit points. Still something to chunk through, but not like really strong. What I'm thinking there is 80 is a quarter of 325. Appear in unoccupied spaces closest to Atlas. Rumblers roll their own initiative. Yeah, Rumblers... No. Rumblers act on Atlas's initiative -10. I'll type -10. There we are. Most summons have their own stat block because inevitably some rolls low is going to want to know some random stat about them. Yeah, you know what, Jason, you're right. I might need to create their own stat block, mightn't I? Yeah. I'm going to skip on the stats on that for now then. So... Causing to... I'm going to say constructs of rock known as Rumblers. I'll put that in italics. To burst from the ground. The Rumblers... Oh, capital. Rumblers persist until destroyed or until the spell duration runs out. When this spell is cast... Atlas also attempts to It attempts to petrify all hostile creatures within 10 feet of itself, as if having just cast... Yeah, as if having just cast the petrify spell. I think that works, and that should be italicized as well. The Rumblers spell, fuses the ground, animating energy, causing two constructs of rock known as Rumblers to burst from the ground. The Rumblers persist until destroyed, or until the spell duration runs out. When the spell is cast, Atlas also attempts to petrify all hostile creatures within 10 feet of itself, as if having just cast the petrify spell. Atlas can freely command the Rumblers to attack. No, it can freely command the Rumblers. Atlas can freely command the Rumblers. Independently. Just to give him that extra mobility in what he can do there then. Okay, I'll need to put together a Rumbler stat block in a moment. So I want to get this wrapped up. I really do. I really want to wrap up Atlas Prime here today. So, with that in mind, I don't actually need to buff any of the other spells. I don't need to go crazy with any of that lot. We've still got all the damage output that is coming. The 1 short rest on everything else, we can just maintain that. He doesn't need a lot of spells. He's Punch Guy, not Spellcaster Guy. So, Rumblers. And honestly, I'm only going to make them 6th level. Like, yeah, he's able to do quite a bit, but it's nothing crazy. They can tank, but they're not going to do a lot of damage. They're more going to be distractions. And you've got the Petrified Rider on everything nearby to him. Okay, I'll make it 7th level. Because of the Petrified Rider. But only because of the Petrified Rider. I should put the Atlas can command the Rumblers independently in the Rumblers section, not the when the spell is cast section. Formatting thing, that one. Okay. With that done, let's check if I need to make any changes here. The strength saves. There we are. Where's this correct? Skills done, commissions done, damage resistance done, summonses, tremor sense, language done. Jump, rock and stone, including the attack. Don't need to make a change as yet because I've done everything. Landslide, no changes made. Tectonics, no changes made. Petrified, no changes made on any of that. Should be okay. Yeah, increase the tremor sense, that's what I did on that side of things. Rumblers, so we'll summon the Rumblers. I'll be creating a stat block for that. Spellcasting has all the details there. Multi-attack we're leaving in place because the mathematics seems to work out that we can create the Rumblers, they will be carrying the spear. So, yes, let's page. And then I need a basic stat block. I'm going to copy just the basic Atlas for this. Pop that down here. Rumbler. So this is a medium construct. Yeah, medium construct. Unaligned, because it's just summoned. Armor class 16 sounds fine. Hit points 80 sounds fine. We'll figure out the rest in a moment. Strength 16, Dex 16, Con 16, Int 4, Wiz 8, Char 2. Because these things are dumb as rocks. They're dumb as rocks. Let's get this in here real quickly. -3, -1, and -4. I'm throwing stats out there, but they're just going to kind of land. Doesn't need any skills whatsoever. Sense, passive perception is 9. Language, understands common. Challenge, we'll figure that out in a moment based on the stats I'm coming together with. It doesn't have any of these bits and pieces. Should I give it prone immunity? I should really, shouldn't I? Yeah. feel like Atlas in that regard. Condition, immunities. Ooh, how do I do a double space? Prone. Should also understand Terran. Good idea, yep. Understands Common and Terran. Very good shout there, Jason. Really appreciate you being around. You're helping out a lot, mate. Thank you. Normal Earth Elemental stats at CR5 may be a good base for Rumblers if you want a jumping off point. You know what? Let's have a look at that. I don't want to go too high, because CR5... 2 CR5s could swing it quite a bit. Let me see, actually. So I've barely changed Atlas's stats otherwise from CR15. Let me see. Radio off to work now. You come off break. Fair enough. Catch you later, Rainuba. Catch you later. Let's see. Earth Elemental. If its hit points and armor class is close to that, I'll work with it. Otherwise, I won't. Well, I'll look at it, but I'll have to scale things otherwise. Earth Elemental. Armor class 17. Close. Hit points 126. And with a lot of resistances and whatnot. Okay, so these will be... I can use this as a base then, because these will be a lot lower. Slam, it makes 2 plus 8 hits with 14 each, so it's 28. Okay, so if I go for challenge 3, more my aim on this. Oh, off work now. Sorry, Rainier, my bad. My bad. So yeah, if I make them a bit weaker than that, we can have 2 attacks of plus 8. Sorry, it'll be plus 7s to hit, wouldn't it? Actually, it's going to be lower than that. Don't these guys have a plus 8 to hit? Alright, yeah, I see. Yeah, these guys only have a plus 5 to hit then. It's a plus 5 to hit. That's pretty low to hit, but still they're going to take up space. And we can give them the Siege Monster trait, like the Earth Elemental. That works. Yeah, we'll give them the Siege Monster trait. Give them Tremor Sense. That's good to include. And then, figure out some basic damage. I just don't need to do too much. I think just a single punch. Rumblers have a punch, rock throw, and stunning slam in Warframe. Okay. If I just give him the punch and rock throw then. Stunning slam, I don't like stuns. We've got petrified, that's enough going on there. If I just go with just the straight up rock throw and punch, that should do fine. That should absolutely do fine. And the damage on that, I can make reasonable, not too crazy. If I make it a d12, like with Atlas, d12 plus 3, give us 9. We'd want to double attack on that. Cool. There we are. Right, that should work. I figured it all through there. So, senses, tremor, sense, 60 feet. There we go. Rock and stone. We're replacing with Siege Monster. Rumbler deals double damage to objects. Simply. No landslide spell, no spell casting. It doesn't do spell casting. None of that exists, which is fine and dandy for us. Actions, multi-attack. The Rumbler... I didn't put the on this, did I? Whoops. The Rumbler makes 2 attacks with its fist, or 2 attacks with its rock throw. Actually, I don't need to say that. Or with its rock throw. Fierce melee weapons to attack plus 5 to hit is correct. That is fine. Reach 5 foot, 1 target on hit, 1d12 plus 3 to give it that extra umph. Make it 9 bludgeoning damage. Rock throw. Ranged weapon attack. We're even saying, doesn't it need unarmed strike so it doesn't prompt attacks of opportunity? Fist wouldn't prompt attacks of opportunity. I'm not sure what you're worried about there, Rainuva. Do they get to bullet jump in Warframe 2? I'm not making the Rumblers bullet jump, no. This one's also plus 5 because I've given it plenty of dex. Range, I'll stick with the 2060. 1 target. This one, however, being a range attack, I will make a lower hit die. There we go. Attacks of opportunity just for moving out of range. That's correct, Tom. Yeah, attacks of opportunity are if you move out of range, out of the reach of a creature, at which point it can attempt to make an attack of opportunity just before you would leave the square of reach. Oh, right. Did I leave bullet jump in? Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, no. There we are. They're going to get 2 attacks, so typically 18 each. There we are. With its fist. Has to get in range to do that. It's a pretty basic Rumbler thing. Very basic stats here. That's all it needs. That is indeed all it needs. It's even slightly slower than Atlas Prime, which is perfectly fine too. But it's going to be a decent source of damage output because that's going to be 9, 18, 36. There's 2 of them. 36 on top of everything else it's doing. We've got the fist from its own attack there, 36, 48. We've now got 48 on the turn from Rumblers. Rumblers can follow up with continued damage afterwards. We then got the landslide afterwards, which was like 117. So that'd be 117 plus the damage we're calculating from Rumblers and legendary action there. And then after that, we've got ability to petrify stuff and follow up with tectonics. Like, this Atlas Prime can get some work done. It took me a bit longer than I intended there, but I did take a couple diversions to talk about Mag, didn't I? But at a glance, I think I've just completed that. Raven saying, unarmed strikes without class feature or natural weapon feature prompts attack of opportunity. No, not this edition. 5th edition doesn't have that whatsoever, Rainuva. Attacks of opportunity are very nerfed in 5th edition. Even stepping around a creature does not provoke attack of opportunity. If you got just Atlas there and you just walk in a circle around him, no special anything, you just walk around. Hell, you could dash around. Atlas can do nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. There is no attack of opportunity for things like that, and likewise, if you just try to backhand him, well, Atlas won't like it, but Atlas will have to wait until a legendary action or his turn to do something about that. So yeah, I think that actually covers everything. We got the Rumbler. We've got the Atlas Prime with the legendary actions and the stats all sorted out. I've not done anything crazy on the spells because it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it because each new spell... Well, the Landslide we upgraded enough times that it's actually doing fine. It's actually doing just fine. So yeah, I'm going to wrap that one up. I think that is good. Unless anyone has any critiques they would like to share at this point, I think I've got that all sorted. I'm just going to go back to the mag bit where I noticed I had made some mistakes. Mag chooses. And then on this one, mag chooses. There we are, fixed those I saw earlier. This has been a very productive stream though. We have managed to go through the creation of Ash Prime, the creation of Atlas Initiate, Atlas Adept, Atlas Master, and Atlas Prime with the Rumbler thrown on here. That is 5.5 monsters in the time, which is not bad going. Encounter recommendation with Bastis, I'll add those later. That's not something... I'm only looking at critiques on what I've made. Any quick things I need to fix right now before I forget or you forget. Encounter recommendations, I'm definitely putting those off for now. But I've got plenty of space. Atlas's blocks have a lot of space for me to work with to put these things in. I'll be fine on that side. Gender neutral terms are entirely correct, so you cannot procreate. And gender neutral I'm doing just because it's. I know that Warframes are gendered, and even when I'm referring to Warframe itself, I'd still use the gender terms, but the monsters, I'm keeping them specifically non-gendered, which partially adds to the monstrosity side of things. Gender's gone. They're just Warframes. They're meant to feel just that little bit more uh-oh. But yeah, I think that, after what's been a very lovely creation stream, is where we're going to wrap it up for today. As this is also wrapped up quite nicely to the end of Atlas Prime, I'm very happy to make this available over on the Discord. I'll be doing that tomorrow, and interestingly enough, we also have a video going up tomorrow. So you guys can look forward to that one. That's going to be very nice. It's not a guide video. It's something a bit different. If you were here right at the start of the stream, you saw the thumbnail. You'll see that tomorrow evening, or whatever it is in your time. In any case, though, you saw a hint at the start. Yeah. On top of the hint I gave you the other day as well, Rainu, but you might be able to start joining some dots together there, figuring out the kind of way that topic's going to go. But well, you'll see it all in the video. What was it, like 9.5 minutes of it? I forget how long I made it. Long enough to cover the topic as much as I needed to, without wasting anyone's time too much. That is all we have got time for today, guys and gals. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope you have enjoyed this stream once again, and we'll be back for some more Warframe on Sunday. In the meantime, if you are enjoying this stuff, if you did want to see more, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Show me how much more you want to see, you know? Help me along the way. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye now.